you, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, Blaze.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up.
What's up? How y'all doing? Oh Lord, my little side of my hair coming up. Come on in. Come on in. Nouveau. Come on in. I don't want to hear it. Y'all already see it. Why my little side keep pulling up right here? Girl, I'm here. It's crazy, right? Ain't it crazy? Listen, I went for a silk press and came back out bald head. I don't know what happened. I swear to God, I went for a silk press. I swear to everything I love. I went in for a silk press and came out bald head. I don't know what happened. Maybe because I've been calling everybody bald head. God said, I'm going to fix you, and here I go. You see what I'm saying? But bald head boo is in effect. I've never been bald head in public before, so this is new to me. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I ain't going to lie. I've been nervous. I ain't going to lie. I've been nervous. I've never not had hair on my head, but what happened was apparently the ladies who do my hair, beautiful girl. But she said when I was putting the wigs on, because what y'all don't know is under them wigs, because I be wearing these nails, I can't braid my hair down as good as I wanted to for the most part. And because I was putting the wigs on, it was brushing up against my hair and like breaking it off in the middle. So she was like, I mean, you got link, because my link was there, but she was like, girl, you chewed. I was like, oh. And then she showed me, I was like, oh. So then she was like, I think a pixie cut. Girl, my stomach dropped. I said, what? What? I said, girl, my head looks shaped funny, please. She said, no, I swear it's going to be pretty. And here I am. It wasn't my doing. It was hers. And honestly, the more I'm looking at it, I'm starting to get a little more used to it. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last. Like I said, I don't know how long it was going to last, but here we are. So anyways, y'all get used to it. Bald head boo here for a little minute, because I want my hair to grow out evenly and do it the right way. So I guess this is me, my bald head Tasia voice. Okay. Anyway, come on in, get the likes up on the video. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, Tony Boo. I forgot Boo Braxton. How many ways I love you. Go ahead on Boo Braxton. Girl, I don't want to be a Braxton, but you know what? They say total. Go ahead on Twitch. Somebody said from Twitch is giving Keisha Pam. Come on now. Keisha Pam. Let me stop, y'all. But for real though, y'all come on in and get the likes up on the video. We are here and we got a show today. I hate this little piece that keeps sticking up. I feel like it's just bothering me. Anyway, we got a show today, y'all. Come on in and get the likes up on the video. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all already know what it is. Let's get into the morning announcements. And y'all know what they are, and they go as follows. Please, 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 Black America, if you don't do anything, do your genealogy. It is so important. Like, it is going crazy all around the world because Black Americans are figuring out who they are through their lineage and genealogy. So please, Black America, if you don't do nothing else, do your genealogy, okay? Please, please, please. Also, ground, meditate, pray. You guys, please make sure y'all grounding and meditating, tapping back into the Most High God. And can I be honest with y'all? When I was meditating this morning, and I'm just being transparent, I don't normally be this transparent, but I'm gonna be honest. I cried because I didn't realize that I had a huge insecurity about my hair. I did. I cried. And in the midst of me meditating and you know, and praying and all that stuff, I did get the wisdom and the guidance from the Most High and the ancestors to get me through it. But I cried. I did. I cried. I was like, I'm about to get on here with no hair. Like, I've never done this in my life. But it was something I had to do. I realized it was one of the other things that I needed to heal from, because a lot of the insecurities that I was thinking about myself didn't come from me. It came from everybody else. So now that I'm healing and still in the healing process, as I believe that we all should be, I'm starting to learn, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of the things that we believe about ourselves is really not our own thoughts. It's really what other people think about us. So I don't know, maybe that'll help somebody. But anyway, ground, meditate, pray, y'all. And yeah. And let me tell you why I cried. I cried mostly because, number one, I'm bald head. And it's not that I've never had short hair. I've always had short, not always, but I've cut my hair before, but I've never gone outside with it. I think it was because immediately the first thought, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the first thought, and this might help somebody. My first thought was, well, I'll just put the wig back on. And then immediately following the first thought of, well, I'll just put the wig back on, my second thought was, so are you saying that you don't feel that you're beautiful enough to not wear the wig? So then I went back and forth in my head about it, you know what I'm saying? And I decided, you know what? This is me. I'm me, and I'm coming on here. It is what it is. I done came on here with no makeup before, so I'm here bald head now. So it's me. So anyway, ground, meditate, pray, y'all. Do the genealogy, because we got a lot to do and a lot to get back. Because today we're going to discuss these Native Americans and how they're losing reservations like 90 going west still, and how basically we are gaining the land, okay? So y'all get in here, get the likes up on the video. We also have 50 versus King. 50 is going, 50. King is going crazy on the fifthster. It's almost like the fifthster is kind of like double dutching in and out of quitting. We'll see. Dr. Umar, the Prince of Pancoochie, he has created this new term organization called Dafa, Descendants of African Freedmen in America, or something like that. Either way, he claims that he want to get reparations and split it amongst the diaspora. That's your boy. And then we're going to get into Indian names, because we all carry them. So y'all come on in, get the likes up on the video. Shout out to everybody in the building. And like I say, y'all, like the video if you don't do nothing else. Shout out. I ain't gonna lie, having short hair though, it do make me feel like I need to be extra feminine. Is that something different? Like now I feel like I want to wear heels everywhere I go and earrings. Like y'all know me. Before I used to come on here, I used to wear no earrings, girl. I used to be like, Lord, I got to put earrings on. Now I feel like I got to. They say show the back. Let me see if y'all can see the back. Let me see. Can y'all see? I kind of messed up the bag though, y'all, because I had to redo it myself. Can y'all see? So forgive the bottom. The girl didn't do that. I wrapped it and I tried to make it. I tried, y'all. I tried. Sorry. But anyways, no, for real. I feel like I gotta be extra feminine, extra girly, like heels, purse, nails, earrings, because I don't want nobody to think I'm a dagger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that's the first word, because I feel like all the daggers gonna be saying, hey, boo, and shout out to y'all. Love y'all down to the ground. But I'm healed. I'm delivered. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just felt like, yay. I just need to be a little extra femme. You know what I'm saying? Get on in here and get the likes up on the video. They say put a mole on. A mole. Oh no, that might be a symbol or something. I'm scared. That might be a symbol. Nigga tell me put a mole right here. Next thing you know, I got all kind of people. Hey, what's going on with you? Talking about put a mole right here. I'm scared, girl. I'm not putting no mole on me, girl. That might be a sign for somebody to say I want to be in a threesome or something. Y'all might be setting me up for the kill. I remember this clear dude told me years ago to put a pineapple upside down in my cart. Y'all know what that means? Put a 3 in the chat if y'all know what the upside down pineapple in the basket in the grocery cart means. I'm so glad I ain't no slow follower, because he would have had me out here on the strip. Child, that boy told me he said, go to the fruit aisle. He said, you want to meet people? He said, you looking to date? I said, yeah. That nigga said, go to the fruit aisle. He was like, and go get a pineapple. He was like, because what it is it's an underground symbol for people who looking for other people to date. That cracker told me to go turn a pineapple upside down in my cart and watch how many people come up to me. And I thank God I'm not slow as a turtle. Because, for a split second, I thought about it. But then I said, something in the milk ain't clean. I went to the next clear and they say, oh, you're into swinging. I said, what? Turns out if you flip the pineapple upside down, you saying that you are what they call it. It's a name for it. But you get to be the one that the husband and the wife flip. That mean you're a flipper. That's what it means. They say it mean you a flipper. And the husband and the wife who like flipping bitches, they be knowing. So when you flip yay, girl, it's a lot. That's what it's called, a unicorn. Thank you, Danielle. It's called a unicorn. Now do this at your own risk. I'm just telling you what the clear boy told me. Now I cussed him out and he laughed. He thought that it was funny. I cussed him out and he laughed, but I told him don't play with me like that. But then I started being intrigued. Now every time I go to the store, I be looking to see who has. I never seen it, but still, you just never know. You just never know. So yeah, y'all, please don't be flipping no pineapples upside down in y'all carts. Because them people say you're gonna get that mean you're a flipper. That mean you're a flipper. Now, some of y'all are flippers and y'all going to the grocery store right now to specifically flip your pineapple upside down. And I ain't mad at you, fat. Have fun and be safe. I ain't mad at you. Let's get into the show, y'all. Get the likes up on the video. Oh, I said I was gonna read some super chats. Thank you, Aquarius Moon, for being a member for 6 months. Says, hey, boo, love the new look and good afternoon, Acorn. Thank you, beautiful. And thank you. Yes, good afternoon to everybody in the building. Sorry, I'm late. I was in here having a crisis, trying to figure out my life. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, thank you. I said what I said, Bitch TV. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. You know what it reminded me of? Thank you so much, beautiful, for becoming a new member. You know what it reminded me of? Immediately popped in my head. Y'all remember, put a 3 in the chat. Y'all remember on Waiting to Exhale when Bernie cut all her hair off? And remember they went to the club and Loretta Devine character, the one who cut her hair, she asked Leela Rashawn character, she was like, what you think about her hair? And Leela Rashawn, and she was like, I don't know if I like it. And Leela Rashawn character was like, I like it. She was like, yeah, I like it too. That's the first thing popped in my head. Like, I swear I be talking to myself all the time, girl. Like, I swear to God. In my head, that whole scene popped up. Well, she was like, I don't know if I like it. You like it? And Leela Rashawn was like, I like it. It's edgy. It's cute. And she was like, oh, I like it too. Black people, we is crazy. We is crazy. I was like, Lord have mercy. I don't know why. I told y'all my memory and my thoughts are in movie and music. It's weird like that. Dorian Span, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Betty Boo Boo. Yay, Betty Boo Boo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all get the likes up in the video, on the video, please, and thank you. Peaches Royale, thank you for the super chat. Says the Team Pixie too. She said, I'm Team Pixie too. Only a confident woman can go that short and embrace it. You look good, boo. Rock that ish. Thank you. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was on here scared. I was scared in the dog. Then it was dragging me for my eyebrows. Let me tell y'all something about these brows. And they don't be y'all, it be y'all on the other channel, on the hood channel. And I know I get it. When in Rome, be hood. But they be dragging me for these brows. I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all gonna go through these brows with me. Y'all are gonna go through the changing brows of Vu. Until I figure out these brows, they gonna look like caterpillars on Monday and goddamn snails on Friday. So get used to it, okay? Y'all go. I'm so tired of people dragging me for my brows, but I ain't gonna lie. Once I took the wig off, I was like, they do look a little crazy. But still, y'all gonna go with me. Y'all gonna go through the pieces of these brows till I figure it out. Okay. Now, once I get the brows down pat, then we'll all be there. But for now, we gonna go through the brows, how they gonna go, okay? Y'all think I don't know my brows look crazy? Yay, I know sometimes. Sometimes I think it be looking cute, but sometimes I know they look crazy, girl. Just let me live. You know what I'm saying? They say they need a shortcut. Oh my God. Y'all leave my brows alone. Don't drag me too much. They be saying, "Voo, your brows be on here looking so bad." And you know what? I accept it. I embrace it. Shit, so I be on here Monday through Friday. Hell, sometimes Monday through Sunday. Y'all might get me on here looking any kind of way. Okay? As long as I'm on here. But get in here and get the likes up on the video. Let's get into the show, y'all. So I want to get into an honorable mention. I think I got a couple of them. Hold on. Like the video, guys. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Thursday. How y'all feeling to be a Thursday? It's raining out here. But I needed it to rain because yesterday I had to put day before yesterday, I had to put down my weed and feed. Because the weeds is growing in my yard. So I had to put down my weed and feed. So that I could kill these weeds in my grass. And then after this, when it warm up a little bit more, I can go cut my grass. Because I do cut my own grass for those in the bike who don't know what's going on. I do cut my own grass. But anyways, so yay. I do have a question. No, wait a minute. I thought I had some stuff on here. Did y'all see Benzino beefing with? Girl, I'm tired of Benzino. I'm just tired. All right, let's go with this move right quick. And then after this, we'll get into the show. Y'all like the video. Let me show y'all this. So I've seen this on many occasions. It's about this couple that spent $75,000 on a baby shower, and then they didn't get what they deserved. Did y'all see this story? So an event planner charges this couple $7,500 for baby shower, and then when the people did the actual baby shower, the girl was just horribly disgusted at what she got. Let's get into it. Matter of fact, do they have the thing on here? Let me read it. It says, neighbors, we have an important update regarding the Atlanta baby shower dispute that has been circulating online. In our initial coverage, the couple stated that they spent $10,000 on an event. However, documentation shared by the event planner shows the $7,500 was paid towards her services. We are correcting that reported total to reflect the receipts provided. Then it says, following viral claims, the planner failed to provide Promise Airline themed decor. She has now released screenshots, payment confirmations, and messages showing her account of what allegedly happened. According to the planner, the missing printed elements, including the backdrop, floor wrap, oversized maternity images, and signage, were outsourced to a third-party printing vendor. It says allegedly screenshots show the vendor stating that the items were printing now and would be ready by the morning of the event. The printer or the planner alleges the vendor stopped responding the day of the shower and did not deliver the materials as scheduled. What that got to do with the person who you doing a business for? Because it sounds like the person who she paid had outsourced a third-party vendor and then they reneged or something happened between them. That has nothing to do with me if I paid you for a service. That's between you and that third-party vendor. You're supposed to have a fail-safe plan in between or in place for something like that. Then it goes on to say, according to the planner, the missing printed elements, including the black, we just read that. She acknowledged that key printed pieces were not present and issued a written apology to the client in that message. She offered a proposed partial refund of $3,500, explaining that linens, florals, balloons, furniture, and on-site styling services were provided and used during this event. It says screenshots show refund discussions between both parties following the event. Additional messages circulating online include claims from other event professionals who allege similar issues with the same printer or printing vendor. One claimed he caused her to lose her Macy's contract. Oh, wow. At this time, the situation appears to be a dispute involving subcontracted vendors and refund negotiations. No formal lawsuit has been publicly filed as up to this date. All right. This the girl, and let me just say this. I'm not telling nobody what to do with their money, but can we be more responsible with our coins in 2026? Because 10 racks on a baby shower? I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just thinking. I'm pretty positive there's something else those 10 racks could have went toward for the betterment of even the baby. But I get it. I'm not 100% against it. But 10 racks? When I had a baby, we used to do the baby shower at somebody's house. And people cook. And you get a few people bring a few items. And y'all get around in the living room. And y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all sit around in the living room and y'all open up the gifts and y'all play with the toilet paper around the belly to see who could get it up to the size of the mama belly and all of that and pin the tail on the donkey and things of that nature. I'm not used to all of this. So it wasn't 10 racks, it was 7,500 according to the article, but damn, that's still a lot. Let me scroll back. Is there footage of the baby shower on here? Here you go. This footage from the baby shower. I don't know about that music. They say that's the backdrop they receive. No props, no airline theme, anything. And I did see another one where they were saying they was trying to set up like while the baby shower was going on, and the girl ended up going off on them. Let me just say this. Oh, and it's Glitz of ATL. Atlanta says everything I need to know. Atlanta says everything I need to know. Child, I'm not telling y'all what to do with y'all money. Have fun. But let's be a little bit more intelligent. Atlanta is a place like a lot of black cities where everybody's racing to outdo the other. Everybody's spending their last on trying to be better than the next person. And 10 racks on the baby shower when I'm pretty sure you don't even have a scholarship fund or a trust set up for the baby. I just want us to make a bit better decisions. But shout out to the young lady, and I hope that you get your 7,500 back. But you know how I go. You know how it go. Right. Somebody said praying that the new baby is healthy. For real. Because I don't know. Let's move on. Y'all get the likes up on the video. And shout out to everybody in the building. I guess we'll get into this Floyd Mayweather bit. So Floyd Mayweather, I saw him circulating online because he was supposed to be getting back with an ex-girlfriend, right? But I had already saw him prior to that being exposed by 50 Cent for being broke. Now, you know, 50 Cent and Floyd have this long-standing beef that'll never stop. And basically, Floyd Mayweather, I don't know if y'all know this, but when 50 was going up against Diddy and all of that stuff, Floyd actually exposed that allegedly 50 may have possibly contracted or been in contact with the herp or some sort of STI, because the girlfriend that he had, or the baby mama that 50 got, allegedly, you know, she was sleeping, not allegedly, you know, 50's baby mama, the little Bruce Leroy baby mama, you know, she sleeps with Diddy. And she's also connected allegedly to this clear man who was prostituting and pimping out women. Okay. So with that being said, it was alleged by Floyd Mayweather that 50 might have had a little herp scare or something like that. I don't know it to be true. Don't get me the line on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, 50 had came out and said that about Floyd being broke, and I just thought it was because it was going back and forth. Well, it turns out Floyd might really be broke because I'm starting to see the signs. I've been seeing all kind of stuff pop up saying Floyd owed this, Floyd owed that. I heard he owed like hundreds of thousands of dollars for jewelry and all types of stuff. It's ridiculous. But then what made me know it was when I saw this. And a lot of y'all may not see it as this because y'all don't understand what you're looking at, but I do because I love sports, or used to love sports. So I saw Floyd Mayweather is boxing Mike Tyson. First of all, shout out to Mike Tyson, but we already know he sold his career's soul, because his word, not mine. He don't care what people say about his legacy because it don't mean nothing. And we saw him do that when he had the fight with Jake Paul. Now, anybody who understands sports knows that in no way, shape, or form could a Floyd Mayweather, even in the height of their prime or even in retirement, they would know that a Floyd Mayweather could never box a Mike Tyson, not because he's incapable, but because they are in two completely different weight classes. I'm talking about damn near opposite ends of the spectrum. You have what's his name? Mike Tyson is a heavyweight, and ain't Floyd like a welterweight, maybe lightweight? I don't know. I don't follow his career as much, but they cannot fight each other. It's not logically possible. I need y'all to understand, because remember, I keep telling y'all, sports and entertainment, sports is entertainment. There's little sports, more entertainment. So the fact that they even talking about fighting tells me this is some bull, because in no way, shape, or form in any other arena would this even be a conversation. And it has nothing to do with anything but the fact that they are in two completely different weight classes. But for them to put this on tells me that it is orchestrated. But I told y'all the world is a stage, and most of the things that you're seeing online are what? Orchestrated. So here it is. He's fighting Mike Tyson, and I'm pretty sure it's because Floyd needs that payday, because allegedly he owes a lot of money. And, you know, while I kind of understood where Mike Tyson was going when he said he don't give a damn about a legacy because once he's gone, he's gone. I kind of understand the sentiment of even the thought of saying that. But you know what not hurts me, but what bothers me a bit about that statement is you work so hard, you go through all of that, and because you have made horrible decisions and sold your soul probably a few times, now all of a sudden you don't care about the legacy. See, what people don't realize, when you hit certain highest or certain honors and certain heights, sometimes your legacy don't have much to do with you, but more to do with everybody else. Sometimes you just the vessel to bring forth the legacy. Does that make sense? Meaning, who cares if Mike Tyson cares about what the world thinks about him? He is a figure in history, especially in Black American history, where children in the next 1,000 years are going to read about him. So it's not about how you personally feel. And it sounds so selfish of me to say that, but it's the truth, because sometimes the Most High and the ancestors, sometimes the Most High will give you gifts that ain't for you. It's for you to give to the world. So for you to just feel like, I don't care about the legacy, I get it, but then I really don't. I don't know. I just felt like, you know, but seeing this corroborates, like I said, that he's broke, Floyd, because this would have never happened. Ever, 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 ever. So let's get into this fight that's supposed to happen. Y'all like the video. It says Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson are set to fight in a boxing match on April 25th, 2026 in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, let me say this. The reason why Rockhead is fighting around this time, too, is because Clarissa Shields just fought, and they got a lot of other boxing stuff happening. Now, remember, I'm not saying Clarissa Shields' fight was fake. I don't know that. But what I'm telling you is what people are doing is tethering on to these main events so that they can get the residual income and the residual, what's the words I want to use? Benefits. Does that make sense? They want the residual benefits. So here it is. They getting ready to fight April 25th. I won't watch it. I'll see the clips on the internet. We saw Mike Tyson last time. We already saw that wasn't a real fight, but child, I think Floyd is fighting like this and windmilling for his life because he's broke. Because that's what 50 said. And even though I feel like they was beefing and just trying to get one up on each other, I tell y'all all the time, you want the truth? There's only two occasions you're going to hear it through. Mad Day and a joke. Mad Day and a joke. Now, fast forward, I had saw this video of Floyd saying that he getting back with some light-skinned chick that he done probably had and tossed away. Now, y'all know they say Floyd, whenever he allegedly date women, allegedly, I didn't say it. I didn't share it. Don't nobody come over here and say Voodoo said it. I didn't say it. This is what they said, okay? Now, allegedly, they said when Floyd be dating women, he be buying them houses, cars, purses, bags. And as soon as things go left, they say Floyd be like, give me my purses, give me my house bag, give me my cars, and you could come how you left, or you could leave how you came. And they say the girls be leaving out bald head like me. Now, I don't know how true this is. They said this one of the girls, he did that to, and she's trying to get her nigga back. Maybe because he's down and out. Life is not lifing like it was before. Maybe he's going back to the old thing to see if he can find some sort of love. But we'll see. So I saw this video, or I saw this video of her sending him a happy birthday of him in the shower. I don't know where he at, glistened up, and for some odd reason, it just feel old man, you know. But anyway, she posted this video. That's the one at the top saying happy birthday or whatever. And then people started bringing up the old clips of their old relationship. And apparently she took him through there and sued him for millions. Let's get into it.
County Superior Court on behalf of Shantel Jackson against Floyd Mayweather Jr.
There was a point in my relationship with Floyd that I thought we would be together forever. I loved him so much, and I made sure I took care of him the best way I knew how.
Oh, that's Nelly, old lady. That's Nelly, baby mama. Oh, nobody ain't told me nothing. I forgot, because y'all remember, you know, they all be smushing each other. They all be like this. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So I forgot. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, they say Nelly around here punching the wall, but he got a wife and children and things of that nature. Child. The way that I love.
I tried my best to make our relationship work by compromising and going to relationship counseling. But I finally realized there was no hope for our relationship and I could not continue. I love Floyd deeply, but he continued to disappoint and intentionally hurt me. I have been embarrassed and humiliated more than I could ever imagine by Floyd, who I once called my best friend and fiance. I have tried everything I could and I have given Floyd every opportunity to do the same, to do the right thing. Unfortunately, he has refused every opportunity to make things right. And it is with a heavy heart that I finally realized that the only way to set the record straight and to achieve justice for what he has done to me is through the filing of this lawsuit.
Flex, let me see.
I ain't got a flex.
Let me see something.
I ain't got a flex.
Make it
I ain't got a flex. I ain't got a flex. You know what it is? I ain't got a flex. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't got a flex, man. Money all day.
Today we filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles County.
I was today years old when I saw a nigga who know how to fight, but still somehow turned out to be lame. Could you imagine being with a world champion boxer and he a lame ass nigga? I don't know. I don't need to flex. I don't need to flex. Man, if you don't get your duck ass, boy, if you don't get your stupid looking ass from around here, if you don't comb your hair, boy. He just looks so lame, you know? Anyways, she was out here trying to sue him and now he going back. But that tells me he's broke, y'all. You know how niggas be. Niggas only trying to double back on their hard times. Y'all know how it go. Whenever a nigga doubling back, that means stuff ain't going right. So yeah, he niggas say built, unbuilt looking. I'm not. He is built and unbuilt. Look at him. It's like he almost fine. It's like God was about to make him fine and was like, never mind. I changed my mind. Just go over here. Listen, Nelly, Ray J, 50, and Floyd all smashed on the same girls. Everybody is sleeping with everybody. They said when you're around them, hide your wives and your children. I don't know what's going on. But I had saw this video, and I don't know if this is a 50ite, because 50 got his clan of grown men who love him down, baby. They don't play about their God. Let me tell you something about 50 Cent's people. And I don't know if this brother is, but I found out 50 got a clan of fans that are like bronze sexuals. Y'all know who the bronze sexuals are, right? No shade. It's just the men who love LeBron down. Like he can't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? 50 got some dudes like that over there. Like whenever 50 just do this or wave his hand, all of the men come out like the Avengers. They all get together and morph like the Power Rangers. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, I don't know if this man is that, but he did this video and said that and was breaking down how broke Floyd is. Now remember, I showed y'all on this channel that he owed money for a building that he didn't pay for, and I think that was hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then there's jewelry that they heard that he haven't paid for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they say Floyd is skipping out on all types of bills. And a lot of y'all might feel like, well, how is that possible? Well, when you live above or even at your means, I don't give a damn if you're a thousandaire or 100aire. When you live on or above your means, you're destined to fail. I don't know who need to hear this in the back, because I'm a very frugal girl. Very, very frugal girl. I live very, 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 very below my means. You get it? So with that being said, all y'all girls want to get y'all coin and go hurry up and spend it, you're going to end up like Floyd, and you don't have to have billions of dollars. That's just how I go. But y'all get the likes up. Let's get into this, brother.
Floyd Money Mayweather is broke. That's the reason why he's unretiring. That's the reason why he's fighting Mike Tyson. That's the reason why he's fighting Manny Pacquiao. February the 5th, Floyd sued Showtime Networks and their former president. He claimed that they misappropriated $340 million of his career earnings from that Manny fight and from that McGregor fight. I just find it funny, after 10 years, all of a sudden, magically, you realize $340 million is missing, but we can give him a pass for that, right? 2 weeks ago, AJ's Jewelry in Miami, they're suing him for $1.3 million. Now, there's a lawsuit saying that he picked up 26 watches and 15 chains back in August of 2025. He allegedly wired $300,000, but then sent 5 separate checks between August the 5th of 2025 and November of 2025, and all 5 checks bounced. Now, see, I'm a guy, when I start seeing trends, then I have to start looking at it and going, okay, that's 2 times. Back on February the 6th, reports came out earlier that month that the owners of a luxury Manhattan duplex are suing him for $337,000 because he reportedly stopped paying the $100,000 a month rent in like mid-2025. Goes to the landlord, vacated the unit, and did not pay the remaining balance. Now, these are also rumors, apparently coming from Business Insider, that he took out a $54 million loan with a 9% interest rate, put up 12% of his properties as collateral. Now you got 2 fights, one lined up in April, one lined up in September. You unretiring, you putting your record on the line. Why? Because you are out of money. Because if I made $500 million, there is no way on God's green earth I would be competing in that sport ever again, especially boxing. These young boys hit hard. I understand Floyd is Floyd. Floyd is 50. Floyd, you putting your health on the line. That's how I know it's bad, cuz their health is on the line. Floyd Money Mayweather is broke.
Let me tell y'all the short of it. The reason why Floyd is broke, Floyd could have made $1 trillion. If Floyd spends $1 trillion, Floyd's gonna go broke. All of this money laid out, all of these cars, trips, jewelry, fashion, that's how Floyd go broke. It don't matter how much he made. I need y'all to understand this, because we getting into generational wealth. The Most High is chosen. You feel what I'm saying? And I need y'all to understand it's not about how much he made. It's about how much of it he spent. And then also, how is he taking care of his bills? I heard at one point he had owed a lot in taxes. It can happen to anybody. It happens to the most of us on a day-to-day basis. I was too caught in that cycle to where I didn't have nothing. I found that I was down to the last penny every doggone week. And the large majority of it was because I wasn't getting paid enough. But then once I started peeling back the layers, it was also because of the choices I was making. You cannot live at your means. If you live at your means, you will fail. I didn't make it up. I'm just telling you what it is. Y'all want to go get these jobs making $1 million a year and spend $999,000 out the year. You wonder why you're sitting up here pillar to post like you was when you was making $100. Does that make sense? Floyd got to figure this out. But him fighting Mike Tyson is just for money. Mike Tyson has already came out and said he's selling his soul for the bag. He don't care. Floyd been sold his soul for the bag. Plus, he's really in the pockets of them orange juice people. So I'm surprised he couldn't go to them and get a loan. But neither here No, there. You feel what I'm saying? He'll figure it out. I'm not watching the fight though. I'm not spending no money, and I'm even if Netflix put it up for free, not about to let Netflix get on my nerves because you know they ain't gonna do nothing but mess the fight up anyways. Now let's move on, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This piece of hair just keep bothering me. Oh, y'all, I don't. This is my second day bald head. I'm confused. All right, now I want to move on to this 50 Cent versus King because this thing is heating up. King has been tearing 50 up on the internet. For y'all who haven't been paying attention to this King versus 50 Cent beef, y'all know King jumped out the window because 50 Cent decided to bring Tiny in the beef between him and T.I. And King jumped out the window. He jumped out the window. King was like, man, look, I don't play behind my mama. I ain't going. And honestly, I don't blame him. He's absolutely right. Okay. So now 50 was doing a lot of posting and deleting. That seemed to be the new thing for the Fifthster. He loves to do a good post and delete. He posted Tina Knows on the channel but on his Instagram, and he be putting little sly remarks under there for everybody else to drag. Yeah, I saw Tip got a new diss track. We're gonna get into it. But he'll post stuff for everybody else to go drag. But now the world is starting to catch up and see what he's doing. And they like, nah, we ain't rocking with that. We not doing that. So now here it is. He's posting and deleting, and 50, not 50, King and Tip are not letting up. Tip dropping diss tracks, King dropping diss tracks, and not only is King dropping diss tracks, he dropping receipts to snitching. He dropping all types of stuff. He's still going in on 50 Cent mama. He done posted a picture, an actual picture of 50 Cent mama, and let me just say, we'll get to it. Because I'm going to just say, watching 50 Cent's mama, it showed me what the real 50 Cent is under the glitz and the glam. Okay. But anyways, it's going crazy. 50 posting and deleting, playing like he done with the beef, but then he coming back and posting and delete again. So some people are feeling like 50 getting ran off the internet. Some people feel like 50 just don't care. And I feel like it could be a bit of both. So let's get into it. So, and I don't know how long this is going to last, but I don't see Tip and them letting up no time soon. It says 50 Cent lights another match in T.I. King Harris feud after posting another image of Tiny Harris. It says King drags him with photo of 50's mother. Sorry. Let's get into it, y'all. So 50 posts this, and he says, I'm out. He said, I'm out of here. You guys hurt my feelings. Now, mind you, this is after back-to-back. King and all of these other and Tip and everybody is posting diss tracks, receipts of him being a snitch, receipts of him fighting the first baby mama, all types of stuff. So he posting this, and people are thinking that he's waving a white flag, but then he keep coming back and posting other stuff. So then he posts this. Well, he posts this and then posts the aircraft. He says, "Okay, I changed my mind." So, in my opinion, he's online toying with them, keeping engagement coming, because remember, 50 selling a book or something he got going on over there. So he's keeping the engagement going, but still not giving Tip the verses. Because giving Tip the verses helps Tip to sell the album. Now, this beef is going to help him sell the album if 50 even decides to respond. However, what he knows is he's selling stuff too. So he's not going to completely stop dragging. He's just going to make it seem like he stopped, but he really not. So this is what he posted of Tiny. And then he posted Stud Ass Nigga Award. And it says, goes to all rappers still trying to battle rap. ChatGTP told me that I don't need me to rap. You need me to rap. LOL, get the F off my page. So as you can see, 50 is still ducking the smoke for the rap. He said ChatGPT told him he don't need him to rap. That Tip just want him to rap, okay? Then Tip said, "You gonna get me started again." And this is when Tip, I want to say, posted that song, because Tip did another diss track and it is popping. I love the music coming out of this. And then boom, let's get to the meats and the potatoes. So King Harris posted this, And here's 50, and here's 50's mama. Now, let's be clear. We all remember this photo. We all remember this. Remember when 50 first popped off and came on the scene, and he was the chubby kid and da-da-da-da. And remember his whole claim to fame was he got in the gym and he worked out, and he was in there pumping iron with Dre and Eminem, and he was hanging upside down hollering, "Go shorty, it's your birthday." But we always like in awe because it was this chubby kid came up, under his mama, and now he this big time rapper who looked like what we thought to be a real muscle dude. Now that I know what I know now, 50 was more of a plant just placed there and put to do exactly what he did. But neither here nor there. I remember this photo. So King posted this photo is in response to remember Tip keep posting Tiny. But 50 keep posting Tiny, I'm sorry. But 50 mama dead. Now, I don't think he cares that his mama is dead. I'm not going to say he don't care that his mama is dead. I don't think that he cares that people understand that his mama is dead. I think what's going to really get to 50 is the deep, dark dashes or the jabs that he's pulling at 50 with. Because whether y'all want to hear it or not or believe it or not, this stuff is probably stuff 50 has suppressed and pushed all the way to the back of his head. And when people do that, it tends to show up in other ways, which is why you see 50 online trolling all the time or always, quote unquote, bullying people. So when people don't face their own traumas and they just push it off, it comes out on other people. It's almost like taking my bull crap out on you. So people might feel like these are subtle jabs, but me knowing what I know, these are very, very hard jabs that King is throwing at him because at the end of the day, 50 lost his mama as a young boy. That's traumatic altogether within itself. Regardless of how much money he have, regardless of how much fame he have, I'm pretty sure unless he dealt with that, that is a big deal. On top of that, you don't have your mama. She gone, and you was a chubby kid, a lame ass nigga, and it kind of puts the mirror out, or at least the image out of who you are under the exterior that we know as 50 Cent, the bully. This is the real 50 Cent. This one right here. This chubby kid who probably wanted nothing more but the attention from his mama. But according to 50, because his mama was on drugs and in the streets, he couldn't get that. He had to be raised by his grandparents. I'm pretty sure that within itself is traumatic. They say he was 8 when she passed in the house fire. Y'all listen, y'all, just because 50 playing it cool on this internet, unless he has healed and went through a whole thing with this, I'm pretty positive these licks are hitting hard. But this is going to go over a lot of people's heads. See, Tip already jumped out the window and King when it was like, nigga, we got family. But now they really laying it on thick, nigga. And is 50's mama side Jamaican? Because the lady in this picture do look like a Jamaican woman. I don't know. She got a little bush. Then he said, that's your mama or pops at 50 Cent. This nigga posting 50 dead mama, bro. Bruh. This nigga posting 50 dead mama. I ain't never seen nobody do that. I ain't never seen nobody do that. I ain't never seen nobody he beef with go this far. But it takes a young crash out like King to be like, F it. And now he posted the boy mama. That's big. That's big. Somebody said 50 tried to set his baby mama house on fire and his mama died in the house fire. Now, how that go? You know, that's how you know, at least at that time, he hadn't dealt with that trauma. Because if he had dealt with that trauma, a house fire would be, if that's true, that would be the last thing come on his mind. But you know how I go. It says, let me go to sleep. I'm ready for tomorrow. Chess, not checkers. They on his ass.
Say this shit, all right. I'm gonna hurt a nigga hard. Hey, niggas want to keep posting, think this shit. All right. I'm gonna hurt a nigga hard.
King ain't playing, y'all. Ooh, King ain't playing. There's no verified snitching paperwork on the rapper Clifford T.I. Harris. Claims that he cooperated with authorities lack official documentation to support. During a 2007 federal weapons case, T.I.'s bodyguard became a cooperating witness, providing information that aided in T.I.'s arrest and the search of his home. This led some in the hip hop community to speculate about T.I.'s own involvement in providing information. T.I. is definitely a snitch. I told y'all it's like the police versus the feds, bitch. The sheriff versus the state troopers, bitch. We not about to do that. We not about to do that, girl. We not about to rewrite the history now. Now we on your side, King, but I gotta be honest and say what's really going on. I don't love your daddy, but black people love your daddy. Okay? But we not about to act like he ain't no snitch neither. Nigga, it's the Army versus the Navy, bitch. Same different toilet. Come on now. Don't do that. I'm here for it. But I'm not going to let you lie. And so he posted paperwork. He posted paperwork from 50. And basically showing that 50 allegedly cooperated. I don't know how true this is. Don't get me the line. But according to this paperwork, it looks like 50 was cooperating in 2009. On or about October 9, 2009. Brian Smith reviewed an anonymous. I can't read it. I can't see it. But yeah. These are the paperwork. They are alleging that 50 Cent actually snitched in 2009. And then King dropped the diss track. Oh, let me show y'all the diss track. Then King drops the diss track with this photo. And this is when 50 was preparing for that role. What role was that? Remember when he was trying to be, he had AIDS in the movie or something like that? Something like that. He had AIDS and he had to lose all that weight or cancer. It was one of them times they was making all the black people in the movies get AIDS and cancer and all of that. But he posted this. Let's get a little snippet of the dish.
Strapping damn show ain't seal. You dominate me. I can't see. Why use a hoe ain't even much a man in my auntie.
That's Tips. I'm sorry. Diss track. King put diss tracks out too. Tip been rolling with the diss tracks. I ain't gonna lie. Tip been rolling with the music. I'm here for it. Tip been rolling down the river with this music. Everybody who been looking for good music is here for the beef. Not because they want these niggas to beef, but at least we getting some good music out of it. You see what I'm saying? So, hold on. Let me go back. So, they going back and forth with each other's disses. King Harris made another post saying never make fun of people or autism or any other disability. Then it says 50 Cent apologizes for making fun of a teen with autism. It says this is not a joke. You should never make fun of people with autism or any disability. Questions to your business partners. Y'all condone this behavior? And he added 50 in his brand. Oh snap! It says Ohio rapper 50 Cent has issued an apology after a video of him making fun of a teen with autism went viral. It says, while the incident at the airport resulted from an unfortunate misunderstanding, I am truly sorry for offending the young man. The rapper, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, told Page 6 in a statement. So this boy is tagging his brands, trying to get in 50 pocketbook. King Harris continues to go in on 50 Cent with a dildo pic. King says, Curtis the Johnson juggler, this the magic stick you was talking about? I just know this stuff and buff ass nigga ain't out here in general public gripping you know what's in real life. This what you gotta do to sell out Broadway, huh? 50, keep posting, little nigga. You got the right one this time. Damn, Miss Jackson, your son a freaking man. Wish you was here to whoop his ass. Oh, my God. Nigga said, wish you was here to whoop his ass. You know what? And this, remember this video of 50 Baby Mama? You know the one Marquise, the one he hate. And I'm telling y'all, them niggas treat the churn according to how they feel about the baby mama. He don't like Marquise because he don't like that baby mama. He can't stand her. And I want to say this. I did believe that he set that house on fire. Let's get into it.
You do think so?
Yes, I know so.
Why do you say that?
He threatened me on Monday.
He did.
He threatened me. Look, watch what I'll do. I have someone come kill you. He threatened me. He threatened me on Monday, and this is what he did.
How long were you two together?
We were together for 13 years. The relation just ended over a year ago. He cannot accept that I have moved on with my life. He felt like he was going to strip me of everything, and I didn't allow it. I fought back, and this is what he's trying to do. He tried to kill me and his own child.
Why do you know that?
He threatened me. He told me he would. He told me he would have someone come do something to me. He told me he would say, watch what I do. I have someone come kill you. And that's what he did. That's really what he did. I know he did. There's not a doubt in my mind or my son's life. I know he did.
What happened?
I know he did.
Did you see anything?
Someone threw something through the window and the house just ignited. Couldn't even make it downstairs. We had to jump out the window.
Do you think he hired someone to do
Yes,
it?
of course. I know he's too much of a coward to do anything himself.
You're
blaming 50 Cent for this?
Yes, yes. Yes,
He released
yes.
a statement saying he was happy everyone got out alive.
He didn't even, if you release a statement, if you care about the show, he has made no attempt to contact Mr. Jackson.
You do think so?
Yes, I know so.
Why do you say
He
that?
threatened.
King playing dirty. Now listen, she can't legally speak about it from what I heard or I remember now because I think he bought her life rights or something like that. But this is what she said when it first happened. King not playing fair. As he shouldn't. He not playing fair. Because guess what? If the shoe was on the other foot, you know 50 going hard. He said, you still threatening black women. Keep going. It's getting fun. Hold on. She going in.
He can't have me. He feel like no one can. He's upset.
So
he's very upset.
Fighting over the house right
Yes, we were in court. We're in litigation. We're fighting over the house.
Just
Yes.
say again, what did he tell you?
He said that he was going to have someone come kill me and watch what he does. And this is what he did.
So he threatened you?
Yes, and he has made no contact to even see how his son is doing. No contact.
You heard something upset are you? How frightened are you?
I'm very upset.
Somebody said, how can you buy somebody's life rights? You could buy somebody's name. Remember T.I. bought that girl Sabrina name? You could basically say, because how it works is, let's say me and you have an encounter. I'm going to just pull somebody up. I'm just grab somebody random. Let's say me and Truthful have an encounter, right? And this encounter involves me and her. I can make it to where you can't speak about anything involving me and you because it involves me too. And I can kind of like get the rights. I don't know if you specifically buy it. I'm not as intelligent on it. But yeah, he bought the life rights between him and her. So she can't go on here and say it. He could buy her name. He could literally go in, the name your mama gave you. They can go in and buy the name. Somebody could buy the name your mama gave you, the first, middle, and last name, and own it. It's crazy. It's crazy, but what's his little boy name? King ain't letting up. He pulling up all the receipts. All of the receipts. He not playing. And it's not looking good for 50 if this catches on. Now, 50 has been quiet. T.I. still dropping music. We'll see how it goes. But King is doing his big one at this point. 50 over here playing like he want to post and delete and then kind of don't want to be in it, but don't want to be. I don't know. Oh, for real? I ain't know Ray J bought the rights to his baby mama name. I didn't know that. Yeah, I learned that when T.I. bought the rights to that girl Sabrina. Because I remember she came. No, it wasn't her. Tiny friend, Shakana. Was it her? Yeah, Shakana. They bought Shakana name. You think I'm lying? They bought Shakana name. Girl, what is you saying? They bought Shakana name. Let me get her on here. Yes, they did.
And I wouldn't have.
Hold on. How you spell her name? Shakana. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it on TikTok. She was on here crying. She said they bought my name. She was like, I can't, let me see.
You get what you want on your service.
Oh, no, that's her talking about the, what you call them. Yeah, she was on here crying. I was like, oh my, I didn't know you could do that. She was like, I can't even do nothing now because they done bought my name. She was like, and now that I can't do nothing because they done bought my name. That's the name my mama gave her. Let me see.
I took care of her, me and my uncle. I watched her. I had everything.
I can't find it. If one of y'all ever find it, send it to me. But she was on here crying about T.I. buying her name. I said, oh, yeah, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nigga said no wonder she disappeared. She show up. If somebody got that video, please send it to me and let me know. Send me that video where Shekinah Joe was on here crying because Tip done bought her name. And she was like, my mama gave me that name. My mama had me and gave me that name. How you gonna go buy my name? It be just like that. It be just like that. Let's move on. Y'all get the likes up on the video. I don't know if it was Tip, it was somebody else. Somebody, I think it was Tip because that's who she was beefing with. I think she said they bought her name. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into this Dafa Dr. Umar crap. Let's get into this Dafa Dr. Umar crap. OMG. The Prince of Pancoochie is at it again. We're here. Let's get into it. So y'all already know Dr. Umar Ifantunde, whatever he called his name, himself. The Prince of Pancoochie has made a way and made a living going around lying to Black Americans, getting them on board to be Pan-Africanists. And let me tell Black America something. We're waking up to this Pan-African scam. And what we're finding out is Pan-Africanism is a huge scam. They don't promote Pan-Africanism by and large in no other place on the earth except Black America. Do you know why that is? It's because we are the only ones with the most to lose. Everybody else stands to gain. So they don't need to get them on board to take, to become Pan-Africanism. They just need to get them on board to take. The only group of people they need to get on board with giving away all their things, all their gifts, all their resources are Black America. Because we are the only group of Black people in this world with the most to lose. That's why, that's why Pan-Africanism is pushed on us more than any other group of people. That's why when you come to America, they teach it in the schools, they teach it in the church, they teach it on TV, they teach it everywhere because they need you okay with giving away your things so everybody else can benefit. We see this happening now in society with how things are going today. Literally, all of the things that our ancestors fought and died for are being given away to all of the ancestors, all of the what do you call it? All of the aliens, all of the immigrants, people who do not belong to or shouldn't have these things. And the reason that is because you get it. That's what Pan-Africanism is all about. I'm sorry, I almost lost my thought. That's what Pan-Africanism is all about. It's about extracting resources from the Black American community. So I get it. In theory, we all want to do right by everybody. We are in the image and made in the image and the likeness of the Most High God. And that's one of the things that we have been persecuted under. That's one of the things the enemy uses against us. He knows that we have the heart of God. And he uses that against us by getting us to just be, oh, well, but what about in these people? He gets us to do that. And that's the way that he can rob us, steal from us. And we got to start being, like I told y'all the other day, being more head over heart, understanding that it's a trap. And they're using not clear people. They're using people who look just like you to push this Pan-African movement so that they can continue to extract your resources. Now, a lot of y'all might feel like, well, what does that even mean? Like, because why would somebody Black want to help them extract our resources? They pay them very well. I don't know how much Umar getting paid now, but we know over the years, Dr. Umar has made millions of dollars pushing this Pan-African scam. He has made millions. I don't know if he got it. I'm telling you what I believe he touched. Okay. He has made millions of dollars. So he has gotten paid. I'm sorry. Very well to promote Pan-Africanism to Black America. Because remember, he understands that you're being robbed, but it don't bother him because he getting paid. I believe he's an agent like a whole bunch of these people around here. But anyway, so he does this podcast with It's Up There podcast, which I follow. Shout out to the It's Up There podcast. The brother seems like he's a decent brother. He's a good brother. But he's on this I'm Up There podcast. It's Up There podcast. I'm sorry. And this is the guy who owns the podcast. I want to say he's FBA. I don't quote me, but I want to say he is, or at least Black American. And let's be clear. He's going to speak about FBA and say they. And a lot of people might look at it like, well, maybe he's not Black American. What a lot of FBA people got to understand is some Black Americans do not want to identify with the term or the movement behind FBA, even though they understand the concept. Like, for instance, I don't identify as FBA because I've done genealogy and I know that I am indigenous. So I don't identify with FBA, but I understand the group and what it is they're doing. And I'm actually here to help usher them into their own genealogy so they too can feel or know who they are. However, I don't want, because I know some people in the FBA community get real upset when people just don't 100% agree, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. We're in a storming phase with our identity here, and we got people here trying to figure out this way, that way, that way. We just all trying to figure it out. I don't think the name is important right now more than the action behind it. However, some people do. Now, as it pertains to what's his name? Dr. Umar, the Prince of Pancoochie, life has dried up for him. Once we woke up out of the Pan-African stupor, he realized, oh, snap, my gig is up. He started not getting booked as many places. On top of that, his family drama started coming into play. His daughter came out and we found out he doesn't take care of his kids. Then we found out he ain't taking care of his mama. Then we found out he's a broke, poor, busted, disgusted, big sloppy ass nigga. You see what I'm saying? So we really was like, get him away from here. He don't even go here. Mind you, Dr. Umar is also part Cuban. He has Cuban lineage. I want to say on his father's side. Don't get me the lying. I think so. But Dr. Umar, he is Cuban on one side of his family. Now, let me just also say this. When y'all do y'all genealogy, if you find an Italian or a Cuban or something 4-5 generations ago, that don't mean you're not Black American. That's one person in your lineage. This is what makes it different. Dr. Umar's direct lineage. That means he has a parent who is a not continental immigrant, but an island immigrant. They were born and raised, and their lineage goes directly back to whatever place that they come from. That's different. So I want us to be clear with that, because a lot of people are going around saying Black Americans are mixed because we may have one person out of all these generations that may be something else. That does not mean you are mixed. Does that mean you have mixture in your DNA? Yes. But it takes 3 generations to completely wash out whatever it was that you thought it was. Does that make sense? So if it was more than 3 generations ago and these people been procreating with other Black Americans, guess what? You're a Black American. I need y'all to completely understand that. It's not the same. Dr. Umar, like Martin Luther King, his father is a direct descendant from an Irish immigrant. That means his daddy is Irish and the daddy before him is Irish. That means Mike is what, ladies and gentlemen? Irish. He just Black. So here we are at the It's Up There podcast, and he's having this conversation with the host. I forget his name, but he's having a conversation with the host, and he's asking him about what he feels about what's going on in the current climate. And remember, Umar's response is always going to be negative because this does not align with his grift. This does not align with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Now, this is the part that bothers me the most. He knows, and he's going to acknowledge that we are owed something specific. He's going to acknowledge that Black Americans in America, especially in North America, on the continent, in the 50 states, that we have a unique history that calls for us to be dealt with or repaired in a special way. But then he's going to turn around and say that we as Black Americans should just all go kumbaya with everybody in the diaspora and split the money. So whenever America would pay us or repair us for anything, we would all sing hands or hold hands and sing in the old Negro spiritual with every single tether on the face of this earth and split our reparations. This nigga must have lost his mind. It must be an icebox where this nigga brain used to be. Because there's no way he thought that that would have been even cool to say, let alone think. Let's get into this doggone clip, y'all. Like the video, and please leave Pan-Africanism in the past. Y'all know what's the 5 things that we said about a year or so ago that we're leaving in the past? Who been on the channel long enough? There are 5. I think we added another one, but for sure, there are 5 things we said that we're leaving in the past once we wake up. What are they? See, some of y'all put them in the chat. I know one of them is definitely Pan-Africanism. Black America, whenever you see Pan-Africanism, you need to run the other way, okay? Pan-Africanism, people of color, run. When you see people of color, run the other way. Black and Brown Coalition, that's another one. Whenever you see Black and Brown Coalition, run the other way. These are all keywords or dog whistles to basically, it's a dead giveaway that this is a trap. Minority, African American, those were the 5. So it's minority, African American, people of color, minority, African American, people of color. It was y'all, I just named them. I just missed them up that fast, but you get it. You got to run away from these things. And all these Pan-African people, these are the first things that they come up with. Oh, well, we're all people of color. Oh, we're all Pan-African. Oh, we're all, minorities. That's the other one. Minorities. Run as far as you can. Let's get into this doggone interview, y'all. Like the video.
I'm just concerned that we do have a lot of infighting. But with that being said,
that's okay, because I'm bringing the solution to this. Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready, there needs to be a progressive American African movement that looks out for the best interests of the American African people, that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad, and that looks to build relationships with them as far as that can be done.
My first problem is this American African term. What the is an American African? Is that them people that's just coming over here off the plains? What is an American African? What he's doing is he knew that we were abandoning the African American term, and all he did was flip it, switch it around to make it seem like it's more palatable. American African. Why would we change our names to remove us from our land, from our homes? What do you mean, American African? Then on top of that, to say that he believed that we should get our just due, but it shouldn't have a negative effect on other people. Why does Black America getting reparations in any form, why is that a negative on other people? I'll tell you why. Because that puts us in our rightful places and puts them in theirs. This is why people are gaslighting Black America in droves, or at least trying to gaslight us in droves, and telling us, oh, y'all fighting for reparations or delineating. That's just delineation, and it's division, and it's going to be negative on everybody else. Why? Because now in the present moment, y'all are eating well and we're not. You're looking at an enemy. The old folks said, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. This is the prime example right here. This man has played in Black America's face for the last 10 plus years, preaching this Pan-Africa this, Pan-Africa that. And now that we're down to the meats and the potatoes of this shit, here he come talking about, oh, y'all could get it, just don't let it affect everybody else. Since when have what we done affected everybody else in a negative way? It's stuff that he's making up to put out there in the heads of the Black Americans who still follow this fool and believe in this message. It is a way to finesse you out of your money. He ain't no different from the church pastor at the doggone congregation saying, close the doors. I want $2,500 by the end of the sermon. He's the same thing. He's doing the same type of finesse. So now, whatever Black America get, even though our ancestors were the only people to suffer at the ways they suffer, we were the only people to fight and die in the wars. We are the only people to cultivate the land. We the only people that went through slavery. We the only people who went through Jim Crow. We the only people who went through all of the horrible, horrific things on this landmass, and you got Umar coming in here in the fourth quarter saying, yeah, but y'all shouldn't do nothing that's going to affect other people. But fuck them people. We don't know them. And guess what? If he that passionate about it, he can carry his black ass to Cuba and go back with him. How about that? Girl, this is ridiculous. Everybody, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the Dafa movement. D-A-F-A, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War.
Allegedly. Because according to Umar, one side is Black American, the other side is Cuban. Let me just say this. Nigga, please. Are you dumb? Descendants of African freedmen in America? Do you know how many Africans would jump on that? Only one group of melanated people in the world were labeled as freedmen. Not the Caribbeans, not the Africans, not the Hispanics. Only one group of people in the world were labeled as freedmen. And here he go putting that same Africa sticker like them Nigerians do, putting that same Africa sticky note on all our stuff. This is a way to siphon our wealth. This is a way to take our land. Umar is a plant, in my opinion. OP, CIA, FBI, Judas and the Black Messiah type nigga. I never trusted him. Because how can you say this with a straight face? These the same, mind you, his biggest audience, Umar's biggest audience is not the rest of the diaspora. It's us. He don't make the bulk of his money on the rest of the diaspora. He make the bulk of his money off of us. And here it is, he looking us square in our face telling us, you are African. Take your money and anything the government owes you from whatever your ancestors' blood and sweat and tears came over, take that and help and give it out to the rest of Africa. Boy, you about made me say something bad, Jay.
My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen.
You a lie with your nappy head ass, boy. My daddy went to the military and he ain't fighting the war. But his daddy fought in the war. His daddy fought in the war. His daddy fought nigga, my whole lineage on both sides done fought in every war. The hell you mean we ain't no American? Nigga, I know you lying. I got a cousin, God bless the dead, who died and still didn't get his goddamn GI Bill. What the hell you mean? Why would we call ourselves American? Nigga, because the flag got our blood on it. Because this our land. Think about the mindset this nigga trying to put on Black America. He's literally trying to uproot you from who you are. It's not just me with lineages of people who fought in these wars. I'm pretty sure damn near everybody in this chat got family family that done fought and died in these damn wars. And this nigga gonna look us straight in the face and tell us we shouldn't identify with America. Boy, fuck you and the mama who born you, bitch. Fuck you and the bitch who shitted you out. I gotta say that part. You done lost your rabbit. Nigga done had political movements. Niggas done had social movements. Niggas done built and lost on this land. And you mean to tell me you want us to go around and say we Africans? African freedmen? Somebody get Trump on the phone, get ICE by this nigga house. Why he ain't in jail? Prison!
In America.
I like that. Do you think you're going to get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Yeah.
The reason I have to come forward with the Dafa movement is many American Africans who agree with some of what they're hearing, but don't want to be part of the conflict and the division. But they say, I either got to go
it's a lot of that.
I got to go FBA.
Yeah.
Both of them antagonize African immigrants. I don't want the antagonism, but I do understand the need for us because we have a unique history that nobody else has, right? But I ain't got nowhere to go. So they're being forced to join movements that they don't fully want to support because they don't agree with the negativity. So I'm going to come with the movement where, yes, we're going to do our thing as the American African people and still link up with the general race.
You join that American African movement, Black America, you gonna be a new age fool. You join that movement playing with Umar. He already done showed y'all he ain't worth 2 nickels. We still don't have the school. We still don't have the school. You niggas talking, and I get it, because sometimes the FBA movement can be a lot. I'm not foolish. I get it. But if you niggas go run your Simple Simon looking ass over there playing with Umar, talking about some damn American African, your ass is up for a nice treat that you ain't gonna like. Umar gonna rob your duck ass blind. I'm telling you now. Umar gonna rob your duck ass blind. We still ain't got the school. And this is the worst part. I'm glad somebody said that. He on here trying to get us to identify as African, and the Africans won't even identify as Africans. Let that sink in. Umar is on the internet telling Black America to identify as American Africans, but the Africans who come here refuse to identify as African. They all say they're American. Talk about a destiny swap. Talk about somebody literally walking you right into your own destiny swap. That's insane. That is insane. And he's doing it with a straight face too. That's the crazy part. This nigga doing this on a platform with a straight face. It's giving me CIATs. It's giving me the government pulled them aside and say, look, your name almost fizzled out, but we need to do something to combat this delineation movement. We need to do something to combat this FBA movement. So come on, let's come up with something new. Come up with something new, something that you can try to divide. This is what they did with the Nation of Islam. They did the same thing with Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam. They did this. They do this every time we start to galvanize. They send in a white horse, or at least a pale horse, or at least a nigga playing like he on the team of everybody so that he can split up the group. This is what they do. This is exactly what they do. This got CIA written all over it. Now all of a sudden it's the Dafa that you came up with. Oh, come on now. Come on now. It is a way to divide and conquer, Black America. Do not get caught up really in none of these movements, in my opinion, not even the FBA one. Get caught up in the spirit behind it. Get caught up in the message, the information. Get caught up in the genealogy. Because I'm telling you now, if you get caught up either way on this totem pole, it ain't going to look good for you. Umar over here trying to run you down to the ground and steal all your inheritance. And then you got a whole bunch of other stuff on the other side. I'm here for all of it, but I'm telling you now, just keep your head down, do your genealogy. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I personally would just keep my head down and do my genealogy and try to figure out what the hell going on. Let these niggas figure it out. But Umar is on his way out the door, and it's given that them people who really paying him and keeping him out of jail is telling him to come back and do this.
So you have a solution. Your solution based in your approach to it. Because I know you see it like me. I'm new on Twitter, and just getting on Twitter, some of the ideas they throw around, I'm like, okay, I see where they going with. I see where they taking the culture. But here's the part of it that I don't find to be appealing is that 24 hours a day, there's a space going on. A space, for people who don't know, is on Twitter, where you open up a room and you have these conversations. You bring people on stage and you have conversations among one another.
And they just going at it.
Toxicity all day long.
I can't support that. Crap.
There's a space of someone that's just arguing about, and again, it's amongst each other. No, you're Haitian. You don't have no right to be. And I'm saying,
you know what's crazy? All these labels didn't even exist before slavery.
Me as an innocent observer, I need them to understand that it's confusing. You know, you start to be like you said, it feels like toxic coming off of it a little bit. And so I hate that for the movement. But again, some of the stuff they throw around, like, hey, the debt is lineage specific. We want to make sure that foundational people, descendants of slaves, get some of the money, because y'all had 400 years of.
And shout out to the brother, because he made a good point. Because I've had FBA people attack me too. He made a good point. What he's saying is, from the outside looking in, meaning he doesn't identify with FBA, he don't identify with nothing. He understands what the message is, but he don't identify with the craziness with the spaces they be having on Twitter. And don't get me wrong, I used to adore those spaces. Even sometimes I still will go into and watch some of Tariq videos, but I'm starting to kind of fall back on it too, because I'm starting to realize that if you get caught up in just beefing with each other online, it don't matter what the subject is about. But if you just get caught up into just going back and forth on spaces and Twitter all day, that shit will consume you. You see what I'm saying? So I personally stay away from it now. When I first started coming into my awakening, I used to love it. I used to go in there, used to love to hear the back and forth banter, because it is educational in a way too, because you start to see how these people really truly feel. So it ain't all bad. But when you overindulge in it, it can be bad. So I understand the brother, and I hope that somebody or people in FBA can understand without being offended what he's saying. What he's saying is, even though everybody in FBA ain't doing that, it does look crazy sometimes. It does. It does look crazy, but I love my people, so I understand that I got to work with everybody, and I'm cool with that. But sometimes it do look crazy. And for people who want to join and jump in on that bandwagon, it does make them a bit iffy. Now, I will say to those groups of people who probably fell in that gray area like me, I don't really take too well to big organizations. No way. That's how I know I wasn't going to be on the FBA train, because I don't really take well to big organizations. I don't take well to being a peon in somebody's dream. I just don't. However, damn it, I lost my thought. Oh, I was saying I don't take well to being the FBA thing. Oh, if you're like me and you fall in that gray area, if I were you, it's just me. If I were you, I wouldn't try to identify with nothing. I would be doing my genealogy. Now, granted, FBA, the movement and the things that it's got going on, whenever I can say something about it, I'm going to back them and I'm here for it. I'm shout out to FBA, but I'm not an FBA member, if it makes sense. I'm FBA by, I guess, identity, if we going by it today, but I'm not a member. I'm not an active client. You know what I mean? But for those of y'all who are like me, just do your genealogy. This Umar here, psyop. In my opinion, Dr. Umar is a huge psyop, okay? So be careful. Not just him. It's a lot of these people out here that are really on here using y'all. I ain't gonna go there. But neither here nor there. Just be careful. You gotta be careful with the Umars, though. These are the people who you thought was so funny, and he's a very charismatic dude. Umar is very, very funny. Don't get me wrong. But behind that funny, it's something dark there. He's doing the bidding and the job of the enemy, and we got to get him up out the paint. Let's move on. We got to get him up out the paint. He's doing the bidding and the job of the enemy. Every time he get on here and tell Black America how we need to split our reparations, how we need to name ourselves American Africans and all that stuff, he is literally wearing whiteface. He's doing the actual job of the clear man. Let's move on. I want to talk about indigenous names. You know how we have these names that we have, Jabari, Javantes, and all of that stuff. And, you know, society tells us that these are ghetto names. So a lot of us have kind of shunned away from using those names. But remember, I told y'all that's not the truth, that a lot of those names that we deem or see to be ghetto, these names are actually indigenous names. And I know because it sounds ghetto now in today's ears, we can't really hear it like what it is, but it just is what it is. Those are indigenous names. Oh, before we get into that, did y'all see? Let me show you how fire genealogy taking over. And shout out to the person who sent this to me. Let me show y'all how cold genealogy taking over, bro. We taking over. One genealogy at a time. Boosie Badass doing his genealogy, y'all. Look. My nigga Boosie doing his genealogy. Go ahead on, Boosie Boo. Now, why is this important? Boosie ran into a problem that most Black Americans are going to run into. And I need y'all to pay attention when y'all doing y'all genealogy. On one of his names, or one of his labels, on his third, I want to say, great-grandmother, they labeled her as mulatto. And this put Boosie in a pickle, which is going to put a lot of you guys in a pickle. Because y'all are going to be saying, oh, snap. My great-grandmother was mulatto. And immediately, you're going to say she must have been biracial or mixed or white. And that's not necessarily the case. First of all, I want to commend Boosie for doing his genealogy. And I hope that this helps a lot of you people out there to do your genealogy as well, because this is very important, okay? Now, when it comes to him finding his great-grandmother being mulatto, it stumped him, and it's going to stump you. And we're going to get into why you shouldn't be stumped and how they basically tried to trick us. Now, let's get into it. It says, ancestry.com, it says my great-great-great-grandparents' race is mulatto. What the F is that? I'm finding out so much on here. Been up 4 hours on this shit. Now, let me just say this. Sometimes you can get caught up in this genealogy. I'm telling you, it's like finding old tea. Sometimes you can get lost in it. And according to Boosie, he's got 4 hours in doing his genealogy. I so appreciate Boosie for doing this, and also for putting it out so his people could see and do it as well. Okay? Now, he's saying his third or fourth time great-grandparents are mulatto. This is what you guys need to understand. Back in those days, what year was this? 1824 is when she was born. Age in 1870. So this is 1870. Back in those days, the way that they were labeling people was according to the census enumerator. Shout out to Dane Calloway. He taught me this. So the census enumerator was the person that the government hired. They are the person who worked directly for the government. And what they would do is they would go knock on doors. And if you answer the door, you know how today you get the census online and they'll say, hey, you want to take the census? Well, back in the day, they actually had actual officers that will go around to people's houses to take names and numbers and all of that stuff to get a count of who all is there. Clerks is what they call them. Thank you. So the census enumerators will go around, and if they would knock on your door, they would kind of get the information and write it down as such. So for instance, let's say your mama answered the door and they'll say, hey, are you married? Yes, I have a husband. So he will be put down as head of household. And then according to the information told by whoever answers the door is what the census enumerator will put down. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because around this time, they are erasing indigenous history, indigenous people, indigenous heritage. Right now in 1870, they are turning indigenous people, copper color Indians into Negroes. This is going like 90 going west. All over America, especially where they've already conquered in 1870, there's a concerted effort to turn every person who's indigenous into Negro. So while you thinking these people just come and do a random survey or a random census, they're also doing what we call paper genocide, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So what they would do is they'd say, Okay, this the census enumerator. Okay, so how many people in the household? Oh, it's 5. It's me, my husband, da 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 da. Now you would think that the person talking would say, hey, we're Indian or we're black or we're Negro. No. The census enumerator's job was to reclassify every single indigenous or black person that they saw. So a lot of these people were reclassified to other terms, and one of those terms were mulatto. So with that being said, while there were actual mulatto people in America around that time, some of you guys' ancestors were labeled as mulatto even though they were not, because it's all a part of the paper genocide. What they knew in 1870 was that sometime in the future, Black America was going to have to wake up. And when we wake up, we were going to go deep diving into genealogy. So what does the enemy say? Okay, I need to make this as hard as possible for them to get down to the gritty of this. And also, we got to push all these different lies. So when you do your genealogy, just like the brother Boosie did, running into mulatto. Now, I'm not saying his grandparents aren't mulatto, because some of them were. What I'm telling you is these people purposely mislabeled our ancestors so that when we got here, it would stump us. And when you get to a situation like this in your genealogy, it is imperative that you first try to find somebody in the family who knows either the people or something about the history of the people, because they can give you the honest to God's truth. Then on top of that, you want to start going get records. You want to start going find birth certificates, marriage certificates. All these other records are going to combat whatever you found on this census. Because remember, this is another way of paper genocide. This is why we're around here fighting over labels and terms now, because of what they did in 1870 and all around that time. That's why we got, well, we're going to be Black Americans. No, we're going to be Indians. No, we're going to be Moors. That's the whole purpose of that. So now you see, I need y'all to understand that that's what's going on. Put a 3 in the chat if you're tracking, so you'll know when you come across. And it's not just mulatto. You're going to see a lot of different labels on your family. I'm not saying that they're not. What I'm saying is you need to further investigate when doing your genealogy. Further investigate who these people actually were, because they lied on paper on purpose. That's what they call paper genocide. But shout out to Boosie. I love the fact that he's doing this genealogy, and I love that he's posting it. And shout out to the subby who sent me that, because I was like, yo, Boosie doing genealogy? Go ahead on, Boosie boo. Go ahead on. Now let's get to these Indian names real quick. Y'all got Boosie doing genealogy? It's up. Anytime y'all got this nigga Boosie doing genealogy, it's up. Look, pay attention to this, because I be finding stuff and I just be sharing it. Between 1500 and 1700, Spanish explorers used terms like dark, swarthy, copper color, red, tawny, olive, Negro, and bronze as visual descriptions of complexions of the American Indians. Spanish and English use Negro as a legal label on paperwork, okay? Now pay attention. They use Negro as legal language, but whenever they were describing other paperwork, they would call you all kinds of stuff. This is the hijack. This is the way to get you all confused. We just spoke about how they was mixing up labels to get you confused now. Okay, so you see how it is. Look on this side. They use terms like dark, swarthy, copper color, red, tawny, olive, bronze, and Negro. And then it says Spain colonized part of what's now United States in the 1500s and used the word Negro in official records. Now, that was purposely done. It says England began colonizing in the 1600s and used the word Negro in English language documents. Now, keep in mind, every time they're using Negro, this is all paper genocide. Every time they write something in some type of official document or some type of official capacity, that is all paper genocide, paper murder, murdering you on paper. Meaning they told y'all thousands of tribes were killed off. They didn't die. They were written off. Like in a sitcom, they were written off. Paper genocide. It goes on to say, in both Spanish and early English records, they did not use the word African on paperwork as a racial classification. Obviously not. But these are the things that y'all are gonna run into. Be mindful of this when y'all doing y'all genealogy. Let's get into these names. Hold on. Oh, I love this sister right here. But hold on. Wait, let me see. Is she the one? Hold on. I'm gonna play her next. I love this sister. I followed her on Instagram. And I found her. She's dope. She's dope as hell. I don't even know her name. That's the crazy part. Where that damn video with that about them names? I don't know. As y'all can see, I share a lot of stuff. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. And look at Umar when he was saying, look, let me show y'all how crazy Umar is. Remember, Umar was on here saying that we American Africans. But I've told y'all Umar done his genealogy and he knows that he got Indian blood even from Cuba and in America. But Umar be on here telling us we Africans. This Umar telling us also in the old video that when they came off the boat, Columbus and them, they found black people. Look.
Don't believe Dr. Umar. Go look up and see what the white man said who came here. Columbus was not the only European who said, quote unquote, Negroes were in the Americas. Negroes was in the Caribbean. Oh, yes, go look it up.
We're on a congress.gov, all right? It says the Virginia Vital Statistics Bureau classed all non-reservation Indians as Negro. All non-reservation Indians was classed as Negro.
Don't believe Dr. Umar. Go look up and see what the white man said who came here. Columbus was not the only European who said, quote unquote, Negroes were in the Americas. Negroes was in the Caribbean.
Umar is full of crap. And when you really peel back the layers to a lot of y'all leaders, they all got this indigenous history that they spitting out under this African and all these other umbrellas. Umar is full of crap. Umar is full of crap. He knows exactly who we are, but he has to do certain things. He has to do what he's told. I'll say that. He's got to do what he's told. Let me find that video. Here you go. I think this is the video right here. No. Hold on. I thought I could have swore I had this video up. Is it here? No. Shoot. But anyway, I'll play this video for y'all. Y'all get the likes up on the video while I'm scrolling. I'm sorry I'm scrolling. Let me play this video while I see if I can find this other video about the names. If not, I'll just talk about it.
In its presence in the Americas. The Out of Africa theory was strategically created by white supremacists to erase the Black indigenous presence in the Americas. This theory is outdated. It has already been debunked, and I'm going to debunk it once more for all of those that are still clinging on to this lie. What they'll tell you is that life started in Africa and that all human beings on this earth can trace their DNA back to the San people, who are African Bushmen that live in Southern Africa, because their DNA is 200,000 years old. But what they won't tell you about is a foundational Black American from South Carolina by the name of Albert Perry, who has the oldest DNA in the world. When scientists examined the DNA of Albert Perry, an African-American man from South Carolina, they uncovered a genetic mystery that rewrote the history of humankind. Dating back more than 300,000 years, his bloodline diverged from all other modern humans long before the appearance of Homo sapiens as we know them. In other words, this South Carolinian, and a man born into legacy of slavery, carried within him the oldest genetic signature of the human race.
And y'all do know, if this man in South Carolina has the oldest genetic trace in the human race, then that would definitely mean life did not start in Africa. I want to say this again. If this man who was born and bred in South Carolina has a DNA that tracks back to America older than any other human being that is a direct acknowledgement that life could not have possibly started in Africa. Don't let that go over your head, because you can't have both.
This man's DNA was at least 100,000 years older than any African. And so if we come from the Africans, why is our DNA 100,000 plus years older? Doesn't make any sense. Another problem with the out of Africa theory is that life starts where the water starts. But if we look at how many fresh bodies of water that Africa has, as big as it is, it only has 677. As big as it is, North America has significantly more fresh bodies of water than Africa does. And in Canada alone, there is over 2 million. 2 million. Not only was the oldest human DNA found in America, but the oldest animal fossils were found in America. The oldest trees were found in America. The oldest pyramid structures were found in America. Not Egypt. Even the founder of ancient Egypt, which is the quote-unquote cradle of civilization, said he came from the West. That's in America. Come on now. And when they looked at the oldest human skeletal remains found in the Americas, which was Lucia, this is what her face looked like when they did a facial reconstruction of her skeleton. What race does that fit? I'm not even going to give you the answer. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. We were already here. Yes, the transatlantic slave trade was a real thing. Yes, there were Africans brought to the Americas. But out of the 12 million Africans that were brought to the Americas, only 388,000 of them were brought to the U.S. Do you know how many black people there are in the U.S. today? There's 48 million of them. How can 300,000 people produce 48 million descendants?
And I need y'all to really think about that, because I know we be repeating that and we'll say, oh, well, they mixed in with the native tribes. Lies. They didn't even have that many Native Americans. Look around. How much does, let me see. How many Native Americans make up America's population? I should say percentage. Right now, they're saying, according to Google, by the 2020 census, 9.7 million. You got to keep in mind there's a lot of clear people cosplaying as Native American. But either way, it's only 2.9%. They never had enough Native Americans for us to blend in and create 45, 48 million people. Even if they dropped off 388,000 Africans and mixed them in with the Native Americans, there were never enough of them to create 48 million Black Americans. It's not possible. That is the lie. This is why they tell y'all stuff like, oh, Black Americans are mixed. That's to get you confused so you don't know who you are. You are not mixed. Even if you have one or two people in your lineage, that does not make you mixed. The reason why the story doesn't make sense is because it didn't happen. You didn't mix with nobody. You are who you are. You are who you've always been. You didn't just jump off the porch doing what you're doing. If you do hair now, you come from a lineage of people who do hair. If you do nursing, you come from a lineage of people who do nursing. If you on the internet running your mouth like me, you probably come from a lineage of people who ran their mouth and did some type of public speaking. We are who we've always been. We ain't have no ethnogenesis. We ain't have none of that. Everything we are today is who we've always been. It puts me in the mind of Henrietta Lacks. Just like this brother in South Carolina have the oldest DNA, why is it that you think they were using Henrietta Lacks genes and stuff to cure cancer and her stem cells? Because they've always known that we had the oldest genetics and DNA on the earth. They've always known that. This is why they come over here and conquer us and not be over there in Africa as much as they are here. This is why when they were doing stem cell research, syphilis research, they didn't do it on the African. They did it on who? Us. Whenever they do these experiments to figure out if something's going to go bad or go good, they don't do it on no other group of people. They try it on us because they know there's something specific and very different about our DNA more than any other people. They know it. You just don't know it. You get it?
In just 400 years. Yes, I know they were breeding a lot of slaves. You can't breed that much people. That's impossible. Most of us had to have already been here. The lies need to stop. Most of us are indigenous to this land. And do not let somebody tell you that they brought all of us over here, because that is a complete lie. That's why they changed our name and our ethnicity so many millions of times, so that we wouldn't know who we were.
Facts.
But happy Black History Month.
And that's the craziest part. That's why we have so many names more than any other group of people. Because as long as they change the names on the original documentation and continue to change your name, you will never know. Shout out to this brother for being intelligent and putting out this information. Now, here we were talking about indigenous names. We have this thing to where we are all ashamed of our indigenous roots. But it's not our fault all the way, because the internet and the government, the powers that were, they have put it in our brains that everything that we should celebrate for us is bad. So for instance, gold teeth. That is actually something that kept us directly connected to the Most High God. But the enemy came out and said that it was thuggish. It was horrible. Took that away. Locks, braids. We just getting back to a place where people can wear locks and braids in professional settings. The reason why they took that away from us in the past was because they knew it directly connected us culture-wise to the Most High God. So all the things that we deem now to be horrible are really our connections to God. It's crazy. It might sound ignorant to the people who don't understand where I'm coming from, but the people demonized it because they didn't want you to have that connection. They still trying to make you human when you are a God. One of the things they demonized was names. We all have our names: Labarius, Javante, Daquarius, Daquan. Those are our names. Byron, all of that stuff. People have, the media, has made these things so ghetto, so horrible, so get that away from me. To now we have started to adopt the white boys' ideology, and we feel the same way. I know in the 90s, it seemed like every other person had gold teeth. Now, hardly nobody have them. I'd be excited to see people with gold teeth because I understand the history behind it. Remember, America was a place where we were dripped in gold. We used gold for doggone weapons. That's how much gold we had. This is why we sitting up here running around here like kings and queens, acting like we want, as soon as we get a check, first thing we want to go do is buy chains and stuff. It is literally in our DNA. However, the enemy has turned us against our culture and our history and heritage, and that's what makes us not continue down the cultural path that we were on. I've noticed one thing about the names. We don't name our children after our elders. We don't name our children after our loved ones. We starting to be like the Clears and the Kardashians and the Beyoncés. Remember, the world is a stage. They are puppets. They are sheep leading their shepherd. The reason why Beyonce came out and named her child Blue Ivy, and the reason why Kim Kardashian came out and named her child Northwest, is to get you out your inheritance. To get you out of your culture, to get you out of your heritage. Because you naming your children after your parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, uncles, and aunts, that is a cultural thing. But we don't do that no more. Now we have children to name them Wave and Tree because it's cute. Not realizing we're disconnecting ourselves from the culture, which is directly connected to the Most High God. Do not, please listen to me, Black America. Do not be ashamed of the names that we have. Do not sit up here and feel like you got to name these children based on what society say or based on what the wave is at the time. Because at the end of the day, Blue Ivy could walk around with a name like that. She come from billionaire parents. You naming your child Red Yellow is going to look a mess. Said what I said. We got to get back to the old traditions of names, naming our children, and getting back to the culture in which we was. Let's get into this brother who's going to talk about all the different names and how it's directly connected to indigenous culture. Check it out.
Willie Mae, Annie Mae, Lula Mae, Edna Mae, Ida Mae. How many of y'all have a grandmother named that? Or a great grandmother named that? Where do y'all think those names come from? Do anybody ever thought about that? Those were indigenous names that had to be changed over into American society. Like, for instance, May meant maiden, which was woman, queen, goddess, matriarch. That's what that meant in indigenous tribes, right? So Annie meant favor, a woman of favor. So favorist maiden would be an indigenous name to somebody. So when you change that name over to fit into American society, you say Annie Mae. Eula Mae, Eula, which is E-U-L-A, that was like a good speaking maiden. Eula Mae was like a good speaking, I don't know how to put it, but like Eula comes like from the word eulogy. So eulogy is like a
speaker,
a presentation, a presentation, a spoken word, or a blessing of some sorts like that, right? So Eula Mae was like good speaking maiden. That's what a name would be. So if you wasn't a part of the hierarchy, because if you had May on the end of your name, you was called a maiden, you was part of the hierarchy in indigenous tribes. So if you didn't have that distinction, you would get named after something of nature, like Myrtle or Pearl or Lily or Daisy. You see what I'm saying? You see, my mother's mother was an Annie. My father's mother was a Ruby. It's indigenous all through my damn family, both sides. So in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, or whatever, you know, black people or indigenous people of this land could not claim it. They would kill you if you claimed your native tribe or said it out loud. My grandma was almost 90 years old when she died, and she was part of the silent generation. Our grandmothers, great grandmothers, they refused to talk. They were very stoic. They didn't tell us about slavery. Have y'all noticed that? They didn't tell us stories about Harriet Tubman.
Nope.
All of these things we learned in school because our grandparents and our great grandparents were silent. They didn't tell us nothing. They didn't teach us nothing because some of them came from indigenous tribes, some of them did come from slaves, but they had so much fear in them. They could not speak about their ethnicity, their true ethnicity, their indigenous nature, their indigenous heritage. You know what I mean? When the $5 Indians came in and started claiming these names, claiming themselves as Indians and Native Americans or whatever, that forced our people to be silent, to not tell them their truth. That's why our grandmothers was in that silent generation. How many of y'all have a grandmother named Willie Mae, Annie Mae, Lula Mae?
He just dropped some gems. First of all, May is a maiden. So if you got, according to what he's saying, if you got ancestors or people in your family, Annie Mae, Rudy Mae, May means maiden. And it basically means that your family or those people came from a hierarchy. Like they were like the bee's knees. They had status. So all the Mays had status. Wow, that's dope. That's dope. I'm gonna have to look into that. You learn something new every day. But then he goes on to talk about the names and stuff. And listen, this is why it's important that we continue to name our children after our elders. I named my daughter after my mama, or at least her middle name, because I understood the importance of carrying down those names. Now that we know that these names have actual meanings, you don't know what it is you putting on your child in a good way. So meaning, let's just say, and I'm not saying you would name your child this, but say you gave your child a middle name behind your great-great-grandmother, something like that. If that name had a meaning to it that actually meant something divine, you don't know how that might be bestowing something divine on your child. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all that to say this. It's dope when you start to learn about things that you thought was just random. Just, we all got somebody in our family with a May on their name. All of us. And if we don't have nobody in our family, we know somebody with a May on their name. Hell, my mama used to call my daughter May. That's crazy. That was my mama's nickname for my daughter, May. I gotta call her. My mama literally used to say, May, that's crazy. But anyway, it's just nice to learn this, but these are the things that you're not gonna know if you don't go seek the information and check it out. We gotta stop trying to keep up with the trends. We gotta stop trying to keep up with all of the stuff with the Joneses, what's going on the internet, because this is a way to pull you and extract you away from your identity. We trying to get toward and run to the identity so we can find out who we are and take our rightful places at the top. And speaking of such, this beautiful young lady who I seen on Instagram, first of all, she got gold teeth. I love it. She got a bottom full of gold teeth. And she be spitting on here. You could tell she's very well in tuned and tapped in. But anyway, she was talking about, or she's responding to somebody saying that we need to leave grills, gold teeth, and all of this stuff that we know as culture in the past because it's messed up for us or it's messing us up. When in a way, I understand why somebody would say that, but what you don't understand is that is who we are. If you understand regeneration or reincarnation, then you know that we're doing what we've always done. This ain't our first rodeo. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything you did has already been done. With that being said, gold teeth, grills, cars, all this stuff is stuff that is embedded in our DNA because we've done it more than once. This ain't the first time we doing it. And for us to feel like we need to abandon that, that is who we are. It came from us. For us to abandon that, I think is very dangerous. Let's get into this young lady spitting some game, y'all. Like the video.
You know, user 44230533777417. You got a lot of nerve coming under my post trying to throw shade, and you don't even understand the cultural significance of tattoos and grills within the culture of the Black Indigenous peoples of America. Let's talk about it. First things first. Tribal markings, aka tattoos, are deeply rooted within our culture. In fact, it's deeply rooted in most Indigenous cultures. Tribal markings and tattoos in Indigenous cultures signify social status, accomplishments, rites of passage, and spiritual protection. Acting as a permanent record of identity, ancestry, or belonging, ranging from scarification and tattoos to body paint. These practices are deeply rooted in traditions like the Maori, Polynesian, African, and Native American cultures. In fact, one could say that subconsciously we're just tapping into our ancestral knowledge and tattooing symbols of protection, prosperity, abundance, and other frequencies onto our body, as we've always done. As we've always done. Imagine you coming from my grill, as you call it, which is actually a permanent fixture within my mouth. It is not something that I can take out, but it does have deep rooted significance within my culture. Because you see, gold at one point in America was plentiful. It was sacred, in fact.
Ceremonial.
In fact, during the peak of the California gold rush, over 125 million ounces of gold was extracted from the Americas. Matter of fact, bet you didn't know that gold was a conductor for positive energy. It's also used for spiritual clarity, purity. And amongst other things, gold is actually used by the same people who tell you it's ghetto for you to wear it, for us to wear it. Do you know that they even use gold to line the fucking satellites in space? Imagine that. You know, I find it so interesting that you guys believe that wearing some of the most sacred fucking metals on the planet is deemed ghetto,
gold,
when we do it.
Yep.
That is active erasure. The same people who colonized us and stole our most precious and sacred resource turn around and call us ghetto for wearing it. That is active erasure. It's one thing to get under my post throwing shade. I can deal with that, but don't get up under my shit being ignorant. please, then you have like 7 followers. Like, you don't have to create accounts to fucking troll me. Come on now.
You know what's crazy? I remember having a download about gold. And I remember saying, it must be ceremonial. It must be like, it have to connect us. And then I ran into some information and did the research and realized how we did Indigenous, how Black Americans, how we would, whenever we have ceremonies, we would use gold. Gold was a very heavy fixture in our society. Like I said, it was plentiful, and the Most High gave it to us to use for all different sorts of things. When them clears and them Negro pins came off that boat, one of the things they came for was the gold. I just left London, and I went up there and saw Buckingham Palace, and it's lined with gold. And immediately, you know what? The first thing I said to myself, that's stolen gold from America. Because like she said, during the gold rush, they stole a crap ton of gold from America. I told y'all, Spain came here with something on their mind. France came here. England, everybody came here wanting to take something. Gold was the number one thing on the list for damn near everybody, okay? We were basically, all the gold was taken from, not all, but a lot of the gold was taken from here, and then they demonized it to us so that we won't go searching for it. So a lot of us in droves started getting the gold teeth taken out of our mouths. We stopped wearing all the gold jewelry. Remember Wayne and them coming in with platinum this, platinum that? Hello? That's not a coincidence. That was done by design. Because at one point, when Baby and all of them and Master P, everybody had a mouth full of golds. Put it in the chat. See, Murder still, I think he still got his mouth full of gold. But then all of a sudden, through Wayne and them, it was platinum this, platinum that. That was a way to take you away from the gold that is actually the Most High gave to you to use. It ain't just to be flashy. That's why also when y'all see a bunch of old Indian statues, they all got gold on because it was plentiful here. It's everywhere. It still is. It's just that we can't find it. But I think it's dope. I love seeing people who still got gold teeth in their mouth because it, to me, I just feel like you closer to the roots than you know, even if they don't know, you know. I think that is dope. But shout out to the sister. A lot of the things that they demonize to us, y'all, aren't bad. It's just they told us it was bad. And I struggle with this too. Sometimes I go through some stuff and be like, well, no, because, and then I have to tell myself, why am I saying no? Then I'll be like, well, no, because so-and-so said, or because society said. And then I have to think to myself, girl, you don't have to do all of that. If you want to do it, do it. So a lot of y'all subconscious be telling y'all about stuff and y'all don't be catching on to it. I get it. But it's basically your soul reminding you, hey, this is what we want to do. This is what's familiar. That's what it is. Your soul reminding you of all the things that are familiar. Now, let's get into these Native Americans. Every time I see them getting kicked off the reservations and losing land, you know we're going to come on here and Joce. But let's be clear. The Native Americans, well, as clear as we can be. The Native Americans' times are up. They have contributed nothing to society. They have lost the protections of the clears that have been letting them cosplay all this time. And they are getting up out of here 90 going west. And guess what? While that's happening, Black Americans are doing genealogy and going to pick up all types of land. You'd be surprised. Let's get into a little bit of it, y'all. Get the likes up on the video.
Over 80 federally recognized tribes across the U.S. have gone through disenrollment. And in the past 2 decades, some estimate at least 11,000 individuals have been exiled from their tribes, including the Nooksack in Whatcom County, which in March kicked out its last disenrolled member from its land, 306 people in total. Jamie Queen, who was also disenrolled from the Squaxin tribe, worries most about vulnerable tribal members.
Elders are getting cut off their income checks. They're getting cut off the treaty rights. Some people lived off of that for their entire life. They no longer have that. So they're losing their housing, their medical, their income, their whole source of identity, because now they have to reinvent themselves and figure out who they are. If they told me today, you are now re-enrolled, I'm going to tell them to shove it up their ass. I don't want to be enrolled. But to make right for me, I want a letter for my son.
Queen says she wants her late son,
He was a good kid. Wasn't a bad kid at all.
who is technically still enrolled Squaxin, to be officially disenrolled too.
I have his ashes, but he's still hanging. Yeah, and it's not okay. He's coming with us.
It's just upsetting.
to see what's happening to the families.
Elder and former tribal councilman Davey Whitener says he's shed tears over stories of disenrolled people. While he remains safe,
I don't know what next.
he's fighting for others who are losing everything.
It's unstable. It's like you don't know what's going to come next. We don't know that it's over. I would guess you're feeling like you're being separated from your family, like you're being told, we don't want you anymore. That is like emotionally and, you know, even spiritually, one of the worst things you can do.
We know who we are. We are from this place, this ground right here.
And the uncertainty is what keeps Sally Brownfield up at night.
I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared about that part.
According to Cornell University, over 80 federally recognized tribes across.
That man is white as snow on here talking about he getting disconnected spiritually from his tribe. Go lay down, Mr. Clear. You don't even belong over there. That's for the Siberian Huskies. What is you doing over there, Mr. Clear? The point is, they getting disenrolled. Oh, I think it's unfair because all my life we've had these provisions and now all of a sudden they telling everybody we got to get out the tribes. Like the lady said, I wouldn't go back if they paid me. Bitch, they don't want you back. This is spiritual. Black America, are y'all listening? This is spiritual. The universe and the Most High and the ancestors are doing their part. They're turning the rights or the wrongs into rights. These people aren't getting kicked out of tribes and disenrolled from tribes on no random regular schmegular. This is spiritual. Very spiritual. They getting kicked out so you can get your genealogy and go get your You see what I'm saying? They're getting kicked out so that you can do your genealogy and scoot right on in where you belong. Because what people don't understand is the government for hundreds of years allowed the Native American to cosplay as the indigenous person. Because as long as they did that, it lined the government's pockets, it lined the elite's pockets, and it made sense for them. They got these protections that they would have never had they stayed in Asia. However, because they've had these protections for generations, now they got the people, the Native Americans today really do believe that they are indigenous because they've gotten told folklore over and over and over. But what they haven't been told was that their ancestors paid $5 to a commission, or at least was instilled or put into this doggone Indian status. And it was never permanent. It never was meant to be permanent. So what's happening is spiritual and somewhat biblical. They got a part in the Bible where they was talking about the Egyptians. Was it the Egyptians? Now, y'all know I don't read the Bible, but I did grow up on it. My mom was a Jehovah's Witness, unfortunately. But fortunately, because I learned a lot. And I remember one scripture my mama was talking about where she said, I don't know if it was Ethiopia. Don't give me the line. Y'all correct me in the chat. But she said they was talking about the Jews. And she said, I don't know if it was the Jews or the Egyptians. Don't give me the line. But she said they left one way and came back another. Y'all, somebody drop the scripture in the chat so y'all can help somebody who I'm trying to get to understand what I'm saying. Basically, what they were saying that these people were saying was they left. We knew who they were when they left here, but when they came back, it was a whole different group of people cosplaying. What that scripture implies is all of these people, because it's not just the Native Americans, the Jewish people too. They are also cosplayers. All of these people are starting to be disconnected from the lie so that the people of the truth can be put into the place. It's not just amongst Native Americans and Black Americans. This is all over the world. This is why it's important that we do our part. Genealogy is our part. Because when they get swooped out, we got to be ready to jump right on in. I want to show you the second part of this video. Hold on, because she got a part 2 that was dope too.
The most is the feeling of being stripped of her identity.
It's a direct attack on who I am. Technically, on paper, I'm not Native.
Santana Rabang and her grandfather, Robert Rabang, were also disenrolled. Santana now lives in Lumi, the tribe where her mother is from. But she's not a member of LUMI either because she doesn't meet blood quantum requirements there. Blood quantum was imposed by the U.S. government in the early 1900s as a means to define and limit citizenship within Indian tribes. It's still being used today to measure the amount of tribal blood in a person's ancestry.
Blood quantum isn't how we identify as Indigenous. It's my connection.
And let me say this. They say it's blood quantum, but that's a lie. Because if they did it by blood, none of them Siberians would be here. If blood quantum was the verification to get in these tribes, none of them would be in those tribes because the blood would have to match the DNA of the people who were already here. And those people were copper people. This is why they don't let us go and enroll in their tribes. I don't want to enroll in none of them. But this is why they keep us out of the tribes. They refuse to give you a blood test and let you do it. But then they'll say that's the way to get in. They don't do that because they know they don't have no direct blood to these tribes.
To the land and the knowledge that I carry, it's not the amount of blood that I have in me. It's the fact that it's there and lives through me is all that matters to me. But I'm not enrolled anywhere.
This neighborhood is where Santana grew up learning Nooksack traditions.
Oh, my grandchildren.
And since Robert is no longer considered Nooksack, he's also facing eviction. He's fighting to stay to preserve his mother's legacy, the woman who was known for weaving baskets out of cedar.
It's been really stressful. It just hurts. All these people were our friends when they first came up here. Now they're all turning their backs like you. Which, you know, it's really difficult. I don't want to give up my my mom's fight. I'm fighting for her. It could get really ugly because I'm not leaving here.
I think there is a deeper concern and heartache, really, because now they might be losing their homes.
They are perceiving the fact that because they are not able to enroll in Nooksack, that they have nothing, and that's not the case. They have options to housing, just like all people have options to housing. They just do not have options to housing with Nooksack.
Rosemary says housing is hard to come by, and that's why they're pushing hard to make the Rebangs leave. She says about 60 people who are Nooksack await housing. Some are in this house that's now a homeless shelter.
We're not saying that they don't belong anywhere else. We encourage them to find their lineage to where they do belong.
For Robert, that means he'll likely move to Canada, where he already has a home. Santana's hopes is to join the Lumi tribe. Discussions to revise the Lumi tribe's basis for enrollment would mean she wouldn't have to prove the amount of blood she has, but rather her connection to the land. For Santana Rebang, what stings the most is the
feeling. And you know what's crazy? That's how all of them been operating in them tribes. Oh, we don't have to show blood. We just have a connection to the land. Bitch, you got a what now? You don't have to do what? Nah, we don't need no blood. We just got to prove we got connection to the land. Oh, girl, go lay. Go lay. What's that little girl name? Dora the Explorer. Go lay, Mulan. Go lay. Them people kicking y'all up out the tribes because you wasn't supposed to be there from the beginning. That's God. That's the ancestors getting y'all out the paint. Faye? They getting y'all out the paint because you don't belong there. So now she's going to try to go dibbling, dabbling, mix in with another tribe. And let me say this too, to them Native Americans running up there to Canada. Y'all ain't the real Native Americans neither up there because they got black indigenous people in Canada who the real black Indians. So y'all running up there to Canada, they're going to run you up. They're going to run you up out of there too. This the hijack. They done kept all us out of Native American everything. We don't know nothing about Indian stuff. Whole time they over there saying I have a connection to the land, so I must be indigenous. Mind you, 23andMe, African American, whatever, that had everybody spitting in the tube, telling everybody they Nigerian. That was another hijack. Because if they can keep your mind over there on across the way on Africa, you would never figure out that they playing in your face right here in your own house, in your own home. It's happening. It's happening. She can carry her ass back across the Bering Strait, if you ask me. I got another video to show y'all.
80 federally recognized tribes across the U.S. have gone through disenrollment, and in the past 2 decades, some estimate at least 11,000 individuals have been exiled from their tribes. Member from its land, 306 people in total.
Y'all need to understand that when a native gets disenrolled from the tribe, it's not because they're not native. Either they're the wrong kind of native, or they're getting banished. They did something wrong.
They're getting disenrolled for not being Indian. Jigs up.
Some squawks and islands.
I'm about to say, before I let him finish, first of all, you see that Karate Kid, little cracker, little Siberian husky that be on TikTok windmilling with his head down for the Native Americans? Don't listen to that fool. There's no way they disenrolling thousands of members because they the wrong kind of Indian. Bull crap. They're not going to disenroll thousands of doggone Native Americans because they're the wrong kind of Indians. Stop the cap. Stop it. This nigga, like one thing I will give him, he's relentless with his windmilling. He ain't gonna never stop windmilling for them people.
Tribal members got a letter summoning them to a hearing to prove they had the documents to show they really are Squaxin. If they couldn't, they were out. And unfortunately, many didn't have the documents or their documents did not match the one in the official records.
Okay, so I've had a lot of comments on the last post I made, just into a reference of what I'm actually talking about. So I'll get into that a little bit. And I'm in the pickup line to get my kids, so it'll save me some time for them. All right. So what I know and what I've heard and just what I've seen is that the GOV is trying to say that birthright citizenships of Native Americans isn't a real thing, that we were not here, and so it's not all right just to be a citizen of America.
I hate that she's so low. Oh, let me raise her up. She said that they're saying birthright citizenship isn't a real thing for the Native Americans.
That birthright citizenships of Native Americans isn't a real thing.
Remember Trump had came on here and repealed that birthright citizen stuff? Put a 3 in the chat if you remember when Trump came on here and said, no more are we allowing this birthright citizen thing to go on the way that it's been going on. I remember the left lost their minds. I remember they freaked out. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that ever happened to the world, Black America. And immediately they started running to us. Remember, oh, Black America, y'all got to do something about this. When Trump pulled back the birthright citizenship thing, that's going to directly affect you. And a lot of Black people was getting scared, like, oh snap, you might be right. But then when you know what you know now, the only people who haven't been affected by birthright citizenship being repealed is Black America. Look at all the people who have a negative effect and look at all the people who are not, because we coming up on this midterm election, and what the left is going to do is they're going to lie. They're going to lie to your face and tell you you was going through hell and high water and you were affected gravely, by this birthright citizenship thing, and you were not. The only people that are being affected by that are the foreigners. Even the Native Americans are being affected by this birthright citizenship thing, because now ICE has been going into their doggone tribes and getting them up out the paint. The only people who have not been affected, Black America.
That we were not here, and so it's not all right just to be a citizen of America, because, pause, now I'm hearing because we actually came from Siberia and we weren't always here.
Y'all gotta wait till it gets to this part. I knew Buddy was good. I knew he was good when he raised his hand.
This is a serious problem that you engaged in. To keep your eye on the issue here. The issue is that individuals in these groups do not have Abenaki ancestry. You have great stories to say because it actually.
Listen, it's so crazy because my auntie just texted me about our annual graveyard cleanup. You know, my family, on my mama's side, we got our own graveyard in Mississippi, and annually, because I'm one of the people that's in charge of it, we go clean up the graveyard. And I literally, as we on this subject, my auntie just texted me about our annual graveyard cleanup. Let me say this, man. Everything is happening for a reason. I done sat by and watched Black Americans get called pretendians. I done sat back and watched us. I done heard other Black Americans tell us, don't listen to our grandmothers telling us who we are. You ain't got to listen to me. You ain't got to listen to nobody. Listen to the universe. Listen to Earth. Pay attention to what's happening around you. The people who were once in a place cosplaying as the people are being shifted, and the people who were once left behind are being catapulted into their rightful positions. Okay? Pay attention to this. Them people is going through it. Literally.
If you were an American Indian, the Supreme Court held more than 100 years ago that American Indians were not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States.
Oh, wow.
And did not get birthright citizenship. So Congress had to provide birthright citizenship through statute. So ask this dispositive question. If American Indians did not get birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment, how the hell would illegal aliens? In the end,
I got this fire burning. So he's talking about American Indians, and remember, he's talking now. See, this is kind of different because he said if American Indians didn't get birthright citizenship, I don't know if he's mentioning the Native Americans because they like to use those terms interchangeably, right? But ultimately, it sounds like he's talking about black people because the video is going to go on and talk about how we've been reclassified and all that stuff. But let me just say this. The reason why they had to even come up with birthright citizenship is because when they were coming up with this United States of America, we were not a part of that. That's not us. Even though we were physically here, that was y'all bag. That wasn't us. When they did the 13 colonies over there on the East Coast, and then they started expanding, that was between them clears, them Negro peons, and some of the Black Americans that was dealing with that. But the mass majority of Black America, that didn't have nothing to do with us. That didn't have nothing to do with us. But basically, they grandfathered us in because we come with the land. We are America's, God's precious jewels. So we had to come in with the land. Birthright citizenship, now that was something to help these other folks or whatever, or I'm sorry, it was originally used for us, but then later used to let all the immigrants use for them to come in. Now they all coming in under birthright citizenship, and when Trump come up on the end and repealed it, it basically kicked them back out of the United States. This is very good for Black America, especially for those of us doing genealogy, trying to get back to who we are as far as identity. All this stuff is working together for the greater good of us, whether we want to believe it or not. Don't get caught up on the people doing the work. Get caught up on the work.
Americans in Louisiana extinct. Anything that you can say those are melanated people, those laws were meant to govern those people. And so as I was coming up, even my own people, the Eshok people in Louisiana history, you were taught that your people are extinct. And I would kind of laugh to myself because my people at home, we're still living. We're not extinct. Our ancestry can be and has been proven through oral tradition and scientific discovery to be in Louisiana some 10,000 years. So we've never been extinct, and we're proudly here today in contending that we're here, and we need to be identified on a state level so our kids and our kids' kids can have the benefit of what our ancestors left for us. Code Noir made all Native Americans in Louisiana extinct. Anything that...
I'm sorry. That's so disgusting. Sorry. I was trying to get it out. So he's talking about the Code Noir. The Code Noir was another black code like they used all across America when they were trying to reclassify us. Now, the Code Noir in Louisiana, remember, they're using the term Native Americans, but that wasn't Native Americans. That's us. American Indians, copper-colored black people. They used the Code Noir to turn all of us from indigenous to Negro or black or colored. This is another form of paper genocide. It's funny because the young brother just said when he would go to school and they would learn about these tribes, they would say all these tribes are killed off. And he would say, well, that's not true because my people at home. I learned the same thing about the Suma tribe. That's the tribe that my family comes from. When I did the research, it said all of them people died in the 1800s or beyond. And then I said, well, that's not true because I got family that's buried in graves from the Suma tribe way after that. So how possible? And I realized the only thing changed was the status, the names on the paper, the genocide, the paper genocide. Does that make sense? So I'm learning, and you guys are gonna learn when you doing your genealogy. These tribes that y'all, some of y'all gonna have tribes and hear tribes y'all ain't never heard of, because everybody in the Cherokee, Choctaw, and all of that. So everybody, some of y'all gonna find y'all real tribes, and when you find these tribes, you're gonna start to see. Wait a minute, they said all these people died off. All you gotta do is look in the mirror, and you will know they couldn't have died off because you're looking at one. Does that make sense? The people couldn't have died off because you're looking at one. Let me play. I got one more video I want to show y'all.
Who were picked up by ICE in a community called Little Earth right here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And one of them has been released, but they couldn't locate the other three. So the council members here, they're all elected officials of the Oglala Sioux tribe. And they gained access to the facility and they couldn't find their three tribal members. They claim that they're not classifying them by their nationality, which tribal members are also citizens of the United States since 1924. You know, there's nobody more American than American Indians, but they were unable to find them here today. And so they're going to continue on. They got some contact information. They love the fact that you're here, that everybody's here. And they're going to be giving out tribal IDs to their tribal members who are in Minneapolis, St. Paul at the American Indian Center down on Franklin Avenue. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that's here. Stay vigilant and stay assertive, stay constructive. We're in unprecedented times, the way that I see it. So there were 4 tribal members who were...
So 4 tribal members were arrested. One was released. The other 3 are still locked up. And he's trying to figure out a way to get the rest of them out. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Because he's sitting up there hollering, I'm going to the American Indian spot on Franklin. And that don't belong to him. That belong to us. And did you guys know, Black America, that once we start to realize our indigenous history and heritage, because I want to use that word more now. Once we start to realize our indigenous heritage, do you know that all of our heritages are protected? Did y'all know that? As long as we call them Black American, African American, that's not protected. But the moment we come into the realization of our indigenous history or heritage, and we start to identify everything we have under it, is all protected. All of it. And that can go from hip hop to rap to any and everything Black America do is indigenous heritage. And when we figure it out, it's all protected. That's the craziest part. That's the craziest part. But the point I'm making is this, y'all, before we get up off of here. We are in the times where it's popping. It's going down. All of the veils are being lifted, if not already lifted. We are starting to see the truth. We are starting to know what's really, really happening. Black America, the truth is out of who you are. Do your own personal genealogy to find out specifically who you are. But the gig is up. We are not African. We didn't have no ethnogenesis. We ain't mixed. We are Black Americans, indigenous, copper-colored Americans, the original emblem of America. That is us. And the secret is out. The secret is all the way out. And y'all check out my little Babe collection. Y'all make sure y'all go get some gear from Babe. Well, it's from Voodoo Doll TV Shop. .com. Y'all check out the Black Americans versus everybody gear. I got one of the hats right here. You know what I'm saying? Got one of the hats right here. You know, do a little tip. You know, I like my beat down low, tight tees. Make sure y'all go pull up at the dollhouse and get y'all some gear. Thank you, Dorian Span for the super chat. Says Betty Boop. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I think I read that one. K1820. Thank you for the super chat. Says, we all went through this insecure natural phase. You look beautiful and fresh face. I hate wigs. Take away your beauty and make us look hard face. You know what? You might be right. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm getting used to it. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Truthful42. Thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. Says, Pretty Vu. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Rochelle 13, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Says, looking good, Vu. Thank you, beautiful. Shout out to y'all, because I sure was on here crying before I came on here. Before I got in the shower, I was crying, girl. I was like, Lord, I'm about to get on here bald head. Hey, it's Trey. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I don't know about this 50 versus tip beef. They told us this was planned. What if this is still the plan? Facts. Also, search your email for the article of 50 genealogy. Will do. Thank you so much, Trey. I will do so. Thank you, beautiful. Appreciate you. Peaches Royale, thank you for the super chat. Says, King and his daddy doing him worse than he did Ja Rule. Karma is a bad bitch and is. And they say she's a dish best served cold. If they run 50 out of here by basically telling him he lonely, that's going to be ridiculous. I would love to see it. I'll be keeping my ears to the streets. Hey, it's Trey. Thank you for the super chat. Says, Umar wants us to connect with enemies that look like us when he hasn't used this attitude with his own child, right? And he's her father and a therapist. I don't know if he's a therapist. I think that Umar went to school for it, but I don't think he's ever really practiced. I don't know it to be a fact, but I don't think he's a therapist or a psychologist. Do I think he know the information? Yes, because I've listened to Umar's lectures, especially when I was in college and even after, and I've done my own research. And when I tell you this, when Umar be talking about them churn and that autism and that mental health, he don't be lying. Get me on here so I can say this part. I don't know about the Pan-Africa stuff. I can't tell y'all about that. But if you want to know the truth from Umar, listen to all his lectures on mental health, the vaccine. He be real on that. Now, there's other stuff I don't trust. I don't know nothing about all that. But that other stuff with mental health with the kids, he 100% on it. I know for a fact because I do the research my damn self. All right. Disrupting Reality NYC. Thank you for the super chat. Says, how many times Frederick Douglass descendants done told this picky head bum that to stop claiming their lineage because he ain't no kin to them. And that's the craziest part. Every time Umar still get back on the internet and say he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. And them people done came out here on how many times and told Umar crazy ass, stop going on the internet lying. Even the clear ones and the black ones then came out and said, Umar, stop with your lying ass telling these people that you was kin of these people. Them people done screamed it on every mountaintop. And just like Umar crazy ass, he come right back here and say it again. At this point, I think the people just tired of him. I think they tired of him. We don't know who Umar is at this point. Tina Sanders, thank you for the super chat. Says, I did my genealogy and found out that on my grandmother's side, they had been free since 1833. Whoa. And that my 5 times grandfather fought in the Civil War on the Union side. Wow. That is dope. But your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather probably got his freedom from fighting. Because remember, what's his name? Allegedly, they was offering freedom to black soldiers who went and fought. And especially if you fought on the side of the Union, he could have got his freedom through that. Or he could have already had it. I don't know. But that's just dope to find. I love finding these type of super chats. Thank y'all. Fish and Bread 007. Thank you for the super chat. Says, my aunt name is Lily Mae. All right, boo, looking good this morning. Thank you. Thank you. And shout out to Aunt Lily Mae. Y'all know them Mays means maiden. That mean honor. Lineages of honor. Nini OG 378. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. I appreciate you. Uwe Av Bay. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. I appreciate you. Uniqueism 101. Thank you for the super chat. Says you should try flipping the bottom up of the back. The bottom back part of that fly cut. I got you on them brows, fam. Shout out to you. I've been filming for makeup channel. I've been filming for a makeup channel. I'm starting. Okay. # licensed esthetician and nail tech. I might need you, girl. But yeah, I might need to flip it up in the bike. I ain't got the right tools. I ain't know I was going to be bald head when I left from there. I got to go to the store when I get off here and get me some small curling irons and whatnot. I ain't know. But thank you, boo. You're right. I might flip it up in the back and see how it look. Fish and Bread 007. Thank you for the super chat. Says, my family still has a lot of land in St. Francisville, Smothers. They built a highway through some of it. Money trapped in a bank. Wow. Yo, you need to go check on that. You need to go check on that. That might be talking about reparations. Let me hold something. You feel me? Fish and bread. I'm saying when you get your little reparations or whatnot, I don't want much. Just let me hold a little something. I don't want a lot. Just a little something, you know? Just a little. Not a lot. I'm just playing. Pay it forward. Help somebody else do their genealogy. But with that being said, y'all, I got to get up off of here. Love y'all so much. I got to get off of here and finish Love and Hip Hop. It is coming today because I couldn't do it yesterday. I was distraught. But I got Love and Hip Hop coming today, and I'll probably go live later on if I get an opportunity. If not, I love y'all. No, I will go live because I won't do it Friday. But I love y'all so much. Make sure y'all take care of each other and never pay it back to me, at least. Always pay it forward. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat. You know what I won't blaze up. Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.